Ready to go live.
Yeah. Okay, so we're live.
Hello.
It's working.
We're live. Yeah, we got audio.
Got audio.
Visual.
Visual.
Got smell-o-vision. It's working. It's good. We had what are
you trying to say right now?
I don't know. I got distracted and I don't remember what I was going to say. We had something. I'm going to tell it on the show, but I had a fun experience today, Marmaduke related.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you talk to the guy?
I talked to someone. I should just tell it on the show.
Yeah.
We had something.
But did you talk to the guy?
I've talked to someone about it.
Okay. Now I have to find out. I'm excited.
I'll just say, like, even though it wasn't happening and I hunted something down and I've spoken in person now with someone.
I should just tell it on the show. Yeah. All right. Is it caught up yet?
Yeah. When was then?
Did you talk to the guy?
Then it's now. Oh, you can hear us.
It's incepting now.
There it is. Okay.
If I turn this volume up on my speakers higher, then it could really, we could get some serious feedback loops.
If you let it go one more round,
what if we turned it way up so then you could hear the double, triple, quadruple.
Yeah. If you let it go any further, we're gonna be in like a time warp.
I'm getting sucked in. Please get like a swirly effect.
No, it's happening.
It's happening.
Dorks.
Dumb.
We're stupid.
What are you doing, timer?
Multi-instance.
That's because I hit it too many times.
Okay. Stop it.
We're doing really good on our numbers.
Nice.
It's only the 15th, so we're at halfway, and we're already like
sweet.
Like if you double that, we're on really good track.
Yeah.
We're like already almost at like not that far up to total of April, and we're only halfway.
That's awesome.
We might double April.
Let's do it. All right, so
we're about to cross the 50,000 total download.
That's mark. A lot.
And that's only since we've been doing tracking. We started off, it wasn't always doing the tracking.
So if someone listens to it on iTunes, does it show there?
Yeah, it all shows.
What about like Stitcher?
I think so. Now it used to not.
Used to not. Okay.
So it's not like, again, like nothing's like when numbers are not completely 100%. We're probably over the 50,000 download.
I realize, and it's also kind of more valuable as a relative term than like an actual knowing how many people type of thing, but cool.
And then sometimes I think our numbers are like not good, but then like people are like, I would kill for those kind of numbers. There's always, grass is always green.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so this is good for the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
What is your where are you at on Clicker Heroes? Like, do you play it anymore?
No, I need to, but
what's the highest level you've ever gotten up to? About.
Once I started doing my
started optimizing those things.
I was like in the couple thousands.
Okay.
Why were you at?
I'm at like I want to say.
Did you start using like a calculator?
I haven't done it yet.
Get in on that, man.
But I'll
take you to your next.
I'm at like 1,300.
Yeah.
Is like my highest level.
Yeah, I got like way past
What's your percentage of achievements?
I was at like 80 something.
I'm at 71. All right. Just curious. And what levels level was your bad guy? Like your you know how like the daily guy that you all fight is your clan?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Okay.
Really high.
We're at like
because we had Craig from the Res.
19 to 21.
Oh, we were like way,
all right,
way past that.
We have one guy that's like really far, but not as far.
We had like multiple guys that were on like an astronomical level.
Right.
I don't even know where we're at now. I got to get back in there
We have one.
You're making me want to like start it right now.
You're about to do it now.
No.
I'm not gonna. This is just pre-show talk. It's just pre-show talk. I'm just curious. Because we have one guy that's like, obviously has done like the next level thing. Whereas, and I'm the third highest. There's another guy that's above me, but I'm catching up to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think his highest level is like 2,100 or something. But we do have room still in our thing. And now that I kicked out the bottom guys, it hasn't filled back in. So
I should kick out our bottom guys. Maybe we can.
Nothing else. Just clear out the. Because there was a couple guys that were still at like 175, level 175. Haven't done anything.
That's what I was doing.
No chatting in the chat thing. Our guys are funny too. Like, there's a couple guys that'll talk in there, like we're in like just an old chat room. Like, hey, you guys having your finals right now or whatever? I'm like, nope.
I'm an adult.
I'm scared to know, and I'm not going to ask. But how old are you?
ASL.
Yeah.
Kids don't know that though.
No.
Because I was like, somebody made a joke about that, like a comedian made a joke about it, and like you could tell where the age divide was on who laughed at, like, because he made an ASL joke,
yeah.
and you could there was a definite like dividing line.
That's funny.
So I'm like, that was definitely a like 90s AOL chat room or Bubs.
Yeah, that's exactly
Bubs chat. Although after we had a different thing about, because it was like we didn't need to know the location really. It was like dorm. What dorm?
Yeah, what dorm you in?
That was always like a opening volley in the virtual sub.
Yeah. What's your major?
Age major dorm.
Yep.
AMD.
That's it. Yep.
Because we were still at the age where it was okay to ask a lady how old they were.
Yep.
What's the cutoff for that? Like 22?
I'm pretty sure once you're out of college,
Yeah.
I think that's the end of it.
So college.
College.
In college, it's still okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
But after that, you don't ask.
Just don't ask.
But yeah, AMD. Age major dorm.
Yeah. That's the college equivalent.
Yeah, because if it was like 18 alpha nursing, like, oh, you're nope.
Yep, okay. I know exactly who that is. Yep.
But if it's like 20 heart art,
yeah, interesting.
all right, let's talk. Let's keep this moving. And then if it's like
poor nursing majors,
yeah,
you're never gonna see them.
Never gonna see you. That'd be a nice little long distance relationship if you didn't want to have a commitment. Date a nursing major.
That's it. I remember the only nursing major that I ever I think even knew their name was Michelle, who's still listening.
I remember Matt tried to date a nursing major for like 3 days. It was like, nope.
Yeah. Because
she took us down to the cadaver room and I had a panic attack.
I didn't go. I was out.
I freaked out.
Yeah. I knew I didn't want to go.
I'll tell. This is a good pre-show story. Okay. So our friend Matt, he was in I don't even know who it was. It was an alpha girl. That's why I told you. I'm like, there's a bunch of alpha nursing majors. Yeah. You might as well call them untouchables.
And
for frame of reference, people probably have no idea what we're talking about. I don't know how it is at your college, but our school, the nursing school, was the most serious of the schools.
Right.
And so they had their first year where they were doing their general eds, and that's when you would hang out with them. But if it was a sophomore nursing major, you never saw them because they were just at nursing school. And then I think because they had to go to class and then they had to do the nursing stuff.
Yeah,
they were just gone all the time. So Michelle's freshman year and then part of her sophomore year, I remember we hung out with her
right before school started. We all came back to school a week early and we all hung out.
And then it was we never saw Michelle again.
And then she listens to Radio BrendoMan now. That's it.
And she's a nurse and he's still but yeah, so Moss made them, I don't know, mistake, but he's like, I'm going to do it. And he was like a sophomore or junior nursing major. I think she was a junior and he was a sophomor. And I'm like, what are you doing? I remember both you were like, what are you doing? You might as well be dating a ghost. and he's like, but she's so cute. And she likes my band. Because I think she was an underage fan.
Yeah.
This was back in the underage days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. And so I remember she hung out at Common Grounds once, and she's like, you guys want to see something cool? And and we're like, what? She's like, you want to go to the cadaver room? And you were like, nope.
I'm out. Have fun, guys.
And so me and Matt and I think maybe Jeb were like, yeah. And like, I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know either. Because
I was just dumb 18-year-old college student, Brendo. It's like, I'm gonna try everything. I'm doing everything. I'm gonna go look at some dead, because it was basically, you kids want to see a dead body.
Yep.
That's exactly what it was. Because I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. I'm like, I thought maybe it was gonna be like, that Body Works Museum, and it's like kind of.
I couldn't do that either.
Well, no way. But I thought this was not even like that. This was like, so we go down there and where it's like in the nursing building, and you go down and it's like in the basement, and it's like real cold down there. And it was seriously like something from a horror movie, man. Because we get down there and there are basically, it looked like two just meat slabs on like gurneys. And then no joke, as I come, this is where I bailed out, it's the only time I've ever almost like fainted, like, because she's like, oh yeah, look, they're about to, you got to see this. And I was like, what? She's like, watch. And there seriously was a handle, and they just popped it open. And that was where I was like, ah! I'm sure Matt has a great retelling of this, because I screamed audibly and just ran away.
Meanwhile, I was probably having a hot chocolate. And
having
a nice
and I think I ran back to Common Grounds, and I was like, Phil, they put a handle, they pulled it open, and you're like, slow down.
I told you I wasn't gonna go.
Because I was just like so messed up. I had nightmares.
And here's the thing. I actually, when I was in high school, I was in the Science Field Club, AP Biology, and we went to the USC Medical School, and we had to see one. And I didn't freak out, like I didn't scream, but I'm like,
did they pull the handle open right in front of you?
They had it out there. I saw like what you saw, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. And that was it. And I couldn't. See,
I stayed 1 minute too long.
Yep.
Because if I had just seen those slabs, I think I might have been okay. Because at first I'm like, ugh. But then she's like, watch this, like pop, and that's where I was like, but then Matt comes back. He's like, yeah, we saw everything, and I was like,
nope, I am not built for that.
But then he's like, and then I was like, so you're gonna keep dating? He's like, no, no.
No, I'm good.
And I'm like, he even later was like, I kind of just like went on a date with her just so we could go see the cadavers.
Hey, sometimes,
because not everybody got to see the Biola cadavers.
No, I avoided this. I didn't even walk through the science building ever because I just knew they were in there. I went around it. I mean, it wasn't really.
It was like a morgue. It was like a freaking morgue.
Yeah, I didn't go through that building.
You're like, there are dead bodies. Yeah, they're probably still there. It's probably the same ones.
Probably is. No, I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
These ones, I know they're like, they were from the 70s. Like,
no, they can't be.
Yeah, they were like preserved.
Like, cut them?
I don't know. These ones were like really preserved.
Maybe they were in their 70s.
I don't know.
Ugh. All right.
It was so gnarly.
We went and saw a movie, which I'll talk about in the show, but they had a trailer for Baywatch.
Yeah.
And there's a part where they're like in a morgue and they go in the cadavers. Like they have to hide, so they hide in the drawers, and like two of them like hide in like an empty one, but one of them hides in one with the dead body, and then like this stuff falls on his face, and he's like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's congealed human fat," and he's like, "Ah!" And then it like falls in his mouth when he screams, and I almost puked in the theater. And this is a trailer. I was like,
"Who would have thought a trailer for Baywatch?"
No, I know. I'm dying. I almost puked right there. It was horrible.
Nobody liked my funny tweet. Mm-hmm. So you know that Spencer guy and a bunch of his white supremacist cronies like basically did a march with torches.
Oh, I saw like a picture.
So I'm like, yeah, here's an on-site, and it's the Death Eaters, because that's what I instantly thought of.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that's what they were.
Well, you haven't seen the movie.
I know.
You gotta watch the movie. You know, in Goblet of Fire, when they're like, that's the scene. So that's what I was thinking. That's all I could think of, like white dudes marching with torches. Right. Besides the obvious,
right?
Like, But have you seen the picture? It's all tiki citronella candle torches. Patton Oswalt really started. He's like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing? Like, 2017, Angry White Torch Mob.
You had to go to Target to buy that torch.
Just seeing if I got any new. Ooh, Bar Wrestling liked my tweet.
Ooh.
Joe Hyken, professional wrestler based out of San Diego. There we go. Body Spartan.
Oh, Juan Ramon liked your tweet.
Oh, cool. Awesome. There we go. And he retweeted me.
Nice.
And he's never tweeted before. Where is one
You're
tweet?
His first tweet, man.
Look at that.
You're his only tweet.
We're his only tweet.
Oh, dude. Look at that. Who's his friend? Who's his friar friend?
I don't know. I guess he had one at some point.
Like a
fellow
friar?
A masked friar. Is he on the roster page? Now I want to know. Man, we're really stalling here. Oh, no. Empire Wrestling. Is that correct?
I think so.
Is their website down? Wait, Empire.
Oh, resting.
Oh.
Is that whose link was that?
Juan's.
Was that Juan's link?
Let him know.
Yeah.
I just want to see on the roster. Chucho.
Friar Juan Ramon.
Is it this guy?
Could be.
Raunchy Rico. I don't know. I don't see him on here. Maybe it was like a one-off. Maybe he's not a regular. I wish we'd gotten to see some, because like Ray Rosas is awesome, but Peter Avalon. But these guys are really big now, so
could
be
that
one of these guys. I think we saw him, didn't we?
No.
Which one?
No, we saw the.
Who was the first guy? The first mask guy that came out. I don't think he's on here.
I don't think he's on there either. We saw Fidel. That's not him. Chucho?
Chucho's wrestling at the next one. I don't think that's him because he's like a buff guy.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's Chucho. Maybe we did see Chucho.
I think we might have seen Chucho.
Or Flecha Fugaz.
We saw him. We saw
Jaguar
de Oro.
And Friar. And, yeah, no. Saw Tyree.
Yep.
And Super Beetle.
Super Beetle.
You're like how Derek was with the chef. That was the one wrestler, Derek, and he still denies it. But everybody, I have multiple witnesses that Derek marked out for the chef.
All right, proof. Well, I like Super Beetle. It's clever. I like that name. It's got like a horned hat.
Too bad we didn't get to see like his match. Really,
I know, but he
won.
It was worth it.
It was.
We should probably start here.
Probably. Check 1 2.
Checking 2 3 4 Super Beetle.
check 1 2.
Checking 2 3 4 Super Beetle. All right, it works.
Oops, wrong thing.
Or snap it to your back time kill, but we can't get a signature on it. Can be compensated for
Mute. Mute. Oh, muted. What's up, Brian?
It's for that smell-o-vision.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Oh, we already started the timer.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And how was your Mother's Day?
My Mother's Day was good. My mother's Mother's Day was good.
Chat is.
Oh, Brian's chat on the phone. So if you hear
Brian says poop.
Poop. You gotta start the show out with poop. Yeah, Mother's Day was great. We hung out with my mom. We went to the movies at 9 in the morning. Which you were not down for.
How was that? Was there a lot of people there?
Yeah, the show was sold out.
Yeah.
But it's because it's Mother's Day, and we went to the Mother's Day movie.
Yeah.
But it was fun. The movie was great.
Yeah, you saw Snatched. Like, I wanted to see it.
I mean, I don't want to say surprisingly good because I assumed it would be good, but it was like
Amy Schumer.
Even better than I thought it might have been.
Scully Hahn, Amy Schumer.
It's my favorite Amy Schumer movie, like hands down.
Yeah.
And Goldie Hawn has still got it. Like, she was hilarious and awesome because this is her first movie in like it's only like 15 years or something.
When
like
was
that.
the Banger Sisters?
I don't know. I feel like it was early 2000s.
Was there another one after that?
I think that was the last one.
I guess she's Goldie Hawn. She's probably just chilling out. Hanging out with Kurt Russell. Are they still together? I heard they break up or something.
So. Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they might have had a.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think they've ever been married. I think they're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was great. It was really funny.
Because she was when he just got his star. She just got her star, and they were there. So I think they were. Gosh, that would be. My mom would be destroyed.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Kurt and Goldie.
Yeah. That's like that scene in The Wedding Singer. Like Bert and Lonnie and Donald and Ivanka. Ivanka's his daughter.
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
That's real weird. Yeah. I mean,
I guess that's like naming your that's almost like it's like naming your son after you. So they name the daughter after
I guess so.
I guess, but still,
I don't know. It's unusual.
There are a lot of creepy pictures.
There's a
But anyway, so so you went to the movies. Then what'd you do?
So then we got like
where'd you go?
I guess it was like
eat
brunch
somewhere. Where?
At the hot dog place right there. What's it called?
That sounds like a fabulous. I thought you didn't go to that one.
JoJo's Grill Dog.
Yeah, I thought you didn't go to that one right there because they had a different menu. You said.
Well, they don't have the
shave ice.
They don't have the shave ice.
And didn't you say their menu was different?
Well, everything has all changed now, even from then. Like I think when they first opened up, they were
didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. And then also they have very little seating, but because we were there so early.
The one in Yucaipa has very little seating.
This one has actually probably a little more than that, but because we went right after our 9 o'clock movie, we were
I don't know about you, but every time I've gone in there, the one in Yucaipa, there's like one person at that big long table, and then you feel, weird. And then it's like, do I sit here?
Is it a bench situation? You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
I think they intended it as that, and like people don't designed to do that.
Tables. Yeah. If
this isn't school, we're not in high school.
It's the same thing at the table at Queen Bean. Like
although I've done that.
But people do.
That one's big.
But then there's other times when people are like weird if you sit down there. So it's,
You can't have a whole giant table to yourself.
Know, but some people.
Well, and then JoJo's is where I had the whole thing where like somebody was watching a movie with no headphones.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, is this what's happening now?
Are we where we're at as a society?
Now? I refuse.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that much. But when it does
definitely
happen,
a thing.
A lot of times it's teenagers or kids.
This was a grown
it's not
woman.
Always. It's getting, and as they get older, like I don't know, is that where we're going?
If we're living in a society without headphones in like 10 years, I might move away.
Also, why do you have to watch a movie in public? Can't say hi to somebody?
I don't see. I read a book.
Or read a book, right?
I read a book like a civilized person,
like an adult.
But now it's on my phone, so I still look like I'm just staring at my phone.
Still, though, at least you're like doing it quietly.
The old guy next to me like gave me a harumph because I went to on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it would have been Sunday because Saturday we went to Mentone. But on Sunday I knew Clarky's was going to be way too crowded on Mother's Day, so I went to the place by Rite Aid, that one right there, Abby's Cafe.
Oh yeah.
And have you been in there yet?
I still haven't, but you've told me about it.
So it was like I went up to the counter because the wait was like 20 minutes. Right. There's spots at the counter. I love people give you stares. I'm like, yeah, I'm by myself and I'm going up to the counter. You guys could have gone up to the counter.
Right. Counter's right there.
It's a walk-up situation. That's what the counter is.
That's how the counter works.
That's a diner. It's not a diner. They have a counter. You just walk up there. If there's a seat, you sit in it.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
And so I sat at that counter, and then some old guy stood up, and I'm like, "How's it going?" He's like, "Good." And then I pull my phone out, and I got my book on, and he gave me the, and I was like, "Okay."
You got a huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just he looked and he saw it was like I was looking at my phone, and I think he just was mad that I was reading a book on my phone and not an actual book. I don't know.
But it is a thing that is on the other side of things that some people feel it's acceptable to harumph a phone.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it.
I'm by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not just going to sit there and eat and stare at whatever. I'm not that guy.
Right. It's fine.
And I refuse to be pushed out of like going to eat just because I'm by myself. Because I know tons of people that refuse, and I'm like, what? I'm just gonna like not go out?
You can do it.
I do it all the time.
But so there's a trend of, and I know you've seen these for years now, like posting a picture of like two people eating together.
That if I was with another person, I would never do that.
Except that I take offense at that a little bit, because let's say we're out eating and you say something and we're like, oh dude, I wonder what that is. And
well, yeah, of course.
I swear people catch people doing
but I've also watched people.
It is.
I've watched tables of like multiple people and they're all on their phone.
It does happen.
It happens all the time.
But I'm not a big fan of the internet shaming of it.
Well, I don't think it. I don't agree with internet shaming of most things.
Yeah, like that's not, to me, that's not an offense worthy of internet shaming.
If
someone's abusive, if someone is racist, you shame them on the internet all you want.
But I do think it is sad and weird when I have observed people. I've watched like couples and even families like not interact with each other the entire time of their meal. And I've definitely observed that.
Definitely a thing. I totally agree. But it's not always that, because we used to go to like Denny's and study, and we would all sit there and look at our books. Like, that's not that different. There's situations
I totally
where that's
agree with you know. But I do think it's become like I've also been to, somebody even took a picture of like a party where it's like a party situation. Everybody's just standing around on their phone. And I've been in that. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, what the heck do we do? Like, do I just be like, hey, phone people, look back? Do you want to be that guy?
Right.
Like, what do I do here? And like,
there's definitely got to be a balance there. So just don't shame people, but also talk to people. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of shaming people, man, I made the mistake today of like, there was some fat shaming going on in a Reddit, like Wrestle Squared Circle, the wrestling Reddit thread, and I got in there and said my piece, and I don't know why I did that. Because I'm like, hey, like, why are you giving fat people? Because there was basically like all fat people are smelly and lazy, and they're fat because of their own like it's a lack of self-respect, and I'm like, you don't know what that person's story is. And also losing weight is hard. And they're like, it's not hard. Everybody. So then I just got a million fitness experts like, no, everybody can lose this much weight. And this is how you do it. And I'm like, oh gosh, why did I do this?
See, your initial mistake
I don't know.
Was don't engage with.
But I just get so mad at like general, like all fat people this or all fat people that, and not all fats.
Not all fats.
That's the title of the
Not all fats.
But because there's the not all women guys, so it's like and like those guys are jerks.
Yeah.
But I felt the need, because I normally don't, but I was just getting so mad because the title. So there was a post, and this is an issue, and the subject of the post was, why are there so many people at indie shows that smell bad?
Okay.
And because it does seem that, and there was some serious discussion going on. Like, I think people at the indie shows tend to smell worse. I have a theory. I don't think it's that. I think it's a combination of things, because a lot of people are like, oh, indie shows are the diehard of the diehards, and they're all neckbeards, and they all don't know how to bathe. And I'm like, there's always that guy at every show. I've encountered that guy at the biggest of WWE shows. And I'm not even, and also as people brought up, that isn't just a wrestling thing. That's every Comic Con ever. That's every comic book store. That's every large gathering of people. You go into the Disneyland Emporium at 11:59 p.m. and it smells to high heaven in there, my friend. You want to know why? Because it's a giant group of people crowded around each other out in the, so you got an indie show, like let's say PWG, for instance. You got guys, the diehards get there hours before. Right. They're sitting outside in line all day. They're sweating. These guys might not already. A lot of these guys might not be on point hygiene-wise.
Yeah. But even if
you are, there's at some point there's only so much you can do.
Right.
And like unless you're like carrying another change of clothes and Gold Bond and deodorant and maybe some cologne at all times, which just really isn't all that practical.
Nobody's doing that.
And so,
concerts too.
But there are dudes that I caught dudes during WrestleMania week where I'm like, I know for a fact you wore that shirt yesterday. That's disgusting. But to be fair, there are these guys, they get there early, they're sitting outside all day, and then you go into, especially these indie shows where it's a tiny building, not a giant, large arena.
Probably not air-conditioned
and
well.
Not air-conditioned well, and you're crammed in, sitting like elbow to elbow people. It's gonna get
stinky, man.
It's gonna get stinky. And I'm like, stop blaming, like, and I'm like, yes, the stereotype, there's a reason why stereotypes, but there's also, you don't understand, this whole stigma has made me into a borderline OCD crazy person, and none of you are helping. By, like, there are people like me, so many people like me, that I'm like, no, we don't all smell. That's why, like, well, you shouldn't be fat. You're fat. And then so that got into this whole, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
gosh.
because there's never been a stinky skinny person.
Yeah. But then it became a whole, like, all fat people are fat because they're lazy and they don't want to be, they don't want to change, and they're just stuffing food in their holes, and like, and I'm like, oh, why did I do this? Yeah. And then I couldn't get out of it, like, all day. I'm just like, and but I'm not in like a mad way. Just like, I was just trying to like get it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with you about like whether or not like this. I just want to put the point across that even if a person is, so what? The guy wants to be fat. Why you gotta give him a hard time? He's not hurting you.
Yeah.
Let him be fat.
Yeah.
Why is it okay to, like, would you do that to any other person for any other reason? No. But for some reason in our society, it's okay to just shame a person on site and in public and like this. It's and like and you feel like it's your, because they're like, you should be ashamed. I'm like, dude, why is it okay to do that? Even if you're right, that yeah, that person is a lazy and they have no self-respect. Like, as a human being, how about have some respect for your fellow man?
Yeah,
have some sympathy. But these are like, no, it's my mission. And I'm like, you're not and then I got to them, I'm like, look, you're not helping. It's not like I didn't know anything that you've ever. Oh, thank you, kind sir. I'm gonna go like turn around right now. Like, that's where I'm like, what do you like? What? And like, and they were not, it was not registering, and I'm like, all right, I'm out. Like, and I'm like, but I was trying to. I wasn't trying. I was just trying to maybe be like, hey, like, even if, and that was my fight, but they were not having it, and I'm like, all right. And it was like 4 people, and I got a lot of upvotes. Yeah. So I'm like, I think I'm making my point, and a lot of people, but it was just these like 3 idiots who, for all I know, are also fat.
Probably are. I mean,
but the whole tone in this whole thread was like, well, it was like this whole group of people where nobody in this thread was like, well, I know it's hard, but like everybody's like, yeah, those guys are so, and I'm like, you mean in a whole thread of giant wrestling fans, like we're all pretending that we're not like even close to being this person, and no one's a nerd, that like, because then it started general nerd bashing. I'm like, we're a bunch of wrestling fans talking on the internet.
You're writing
like, we need to like
about
we
wrestling.
We're so not self-aware, and we're so like self-hating and like self-loathing. Right. And that was starting to come up, but people would shut it down. I'm like, we need to just be honest about who we are, and I think everybody would be happier. This is not helping at all. And like, but I mean, but then again, there are a lot of smelly people, and I don't know what we can, but it is.
But again, I say it's air conditioning. If you go to a concert,
but there are
with cool skinny people, they're all going to be stinky. At
but
the end
there
of that
are the people that there's like, all it takes is one stinky guy to begin with, and that is a thing.
But again, there's stinky musicians that those guys stink all the time.
But then also, I've encountered situations, and I'm no joke, at wrestling shows where I'm like, this isn't just a BO situation. This is this person, I don't think they know how to wipe properly.
Right.
And I don't think they've washed their clothes in a while. And there's those. Yeah. But I'm like, one, I don't think us, like, this is gonna solve any of that.
It's not gonna help.
I mean, we all know it. But like, trying to go on some crazy witch hunt now, and like, oh, that's not me, and like, and this one guy even stood like, man, wrestling fans are such losers. I'm the exception. I'm like, everybody in here thinks that about themselves, and I bet you ask any wrestling fan, they're gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
And clearly, that's not true. And we're in a very pot kettle, and I guess that's my whole thing. I'm like, we are in a very pot kettle situation here, and everybody and they were not having it, and I don't know why. I thought maybe they would have it. I don't know what I was doing. I think it was just because I didn't have a lot going on at work today, and I felt like just, hey, because before I knew it, it was lunchtime. That's all I know. Like, before I even freaking knew it.
Oh man. Well,
I don't know why I did that.
Lesson here is do not engage.
I know, but
not.
I didn't have anything better to do.
All right. Just saying. That's an argument that will never be won.
Also, like, I couldn't figure out how to freaking iPad apps not updating correctly, and I don't know, man. So I was like working on that while I'm looking at Reddit, while my message box was filling up with these fat haters that, like, so I don't know. I signed because this guy's like, no, you're this and this. And I'm like, all right, dude. Like, all right. I guess I'll just go like obviously, like, I'm a big fat slob. I'll just go shove cookies in my face because that's what you think I'm doing right now. And I'm like, I made this real. And then he's like, finally, I get you to tell the truth. And I'm like, okay. So I think he really does think I'm not joking. And like, because the way he like replied to me, it was very like, ha. And I'm like,
I knew it.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, this is who I'm dealing with. I don't know what I was thinking. But I helped a guy fix his New Japan streaming.
Oh, that's good.
That's also, so I was doing that while I was getting involved in that garbage. So I was doing an internet good deed while I was just engaging in a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Janelle had a technical thing today.
Yeah.
She forgot her laptop at home, which normally isn't a huge deal, except that she's doing her testing.
Isn't she like in SBAC?
And all of her stuff, like she has to have it to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
you have to come to the rescue?
Yes. And kids, like, I was letting him sleep in because because of the whole Mother's Day thing, we didn't get back to the house until like after 6. And, it took a while. They were tired. They were out late. So I let him sleep in a bit. And Janelle calls me and she's like, you have to bring my computer down to me or I'm going to be in huge trouble. And the kids were still asleep in bed when she called me. And I'm like, you guys got to get up. You have to get dressed faster than you've ever gotten dressed. I like grabbed like granola bars and juice pouches and shoved them in my pockets for them to eat breakfast on the way down. And we were out of the house from them being asleep in 10 minutes, ready to go to school. Because that's the thing. Like,
how did you even do that?
I don't know. Like, it's still kind of a blur and kind of like a miracle that it happened because I had to drop them at school afterwards.
I know what your son is like.
Oh,
when he wakes up.
This is normally an hour-long process. Like,
yeah.
And I was like pushing it and letting him sleep in so it would only have like 45 minutes. But we had to get ready in like 10 minutes because I had to drive all the way down. She came up and met me a little bit, but I had to drive most of the way down to get to her, get her computer, and then drive them over to school. And I got them to school with like 5 minutes to spare. So I mean, they were fine.
Some super dad action.
Oh, dude, this morning was like, and this is the other thing too, is like,
you deserve a raise.
I knew that if I like was like all upset, or like, come on, you guys gotta hurry, they were gonna just be rolling on the ground crying, like, oh. So this is how I approached it. I was like, good morning, you guys. We have an adventure today. Mommy needs us to be heroes and rescue her. So we are going to go on a rescue mission adventure. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, you have to get ready faster than you ever gotten ready before.
Totally.
We're going to have
okay, you do realize this is the only time that's going to work.
Oh, I know. One time. This is it.
You just used your one time.
But it worked.
Card.
Like, I got my breakfast. I'm throwing the breakfast in the pockets, and we're gonna run. Let's go, go, go! Brush your hair. I mean, Audrey even brushed her hair and let me help her without crying this morning. Because usually, like if we're in a hurry and I have to help brush, she's like, "Oh, it hurts." Like, okay, let's go. We're gonna go rescue mommy. We jumped in the car, and I'm like, okay. And we were driving. I'm like, I'm sorry, we had to rush around. I'm like, no, this is great. We're having an adventure. We're rescuing mommy. I'm like, yeah. And we met mommy and gave me the computer. Mom's like, you saved the day, and they're like, yeah. But yeah, that's it. If this happens again, I'm like, don't leave your computer home again.
That's not gonna work. They're gonna be like, nope.
We had the adventure. We did this one. I've heard this story before.
You've now lost. It's gonna have to be like the house is on fire.
Yep, that's it. If there's not like an earthquake,
you're gonna have to do like a Ben Stiller and Royal Tenenbaums, like set the alarm off. All right, go, go, go.
If that doesn't happen, they're not having it. That's it. We're out.
You have to hold the lighter up to your. No, a cigarette. He like smoked a cigarette.
I think so, and right under it. Yeah, so it was quite the adventure. But if I'm telling you, if I had not approached it in that way, it would have been just.
No, I know your kids.
I don't want to get out of bed.
I've woken up Luke.
Yeah. If they don't get up on their own, they are not fun to get up.
Yeah.
Usually they're up before I am, and it's just okay, we're up. But they were tired, and I was like, oh, and Janelle.
I will never forget that Halloween.
Oh my god.
Like that, like.
Like we're getting candy. I don't want to get candy. Yeah, like. It is a miracle that this thing worked. Because when Janelle called me, she's like practically in tears, like, I have to have my computer, please come down. And I look and they're both asleep, and I'm like, okay, we'll make it happen. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? So it was, man, it was one of those days where the stay-at-home dad earns his keep kind of days.
I need to move my empty bottle of syrup because I just look at it and it makes me like,
they'll ship it to you.
I know. Trust me. I've found places that have like different, like
I think they even.
I've seen.
Which one is
there's
this?
certain
this is the,
stores
because they sell the cheese these guys make at Aldi's here.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
I don't know.
I've had it. It's real good.
Yeah.
But I have seen it in places, but it's not in stores. You're talking for even like the smallest size bottle. It's like $10.
Well, I mean, this little thing was like $3 or $4 or something. Which
then they have the Vermont maple syrup, which I don't know if you looked in. There's a lot of counterfeit maple syrup out and about. Yeah. It's like the whole olive oil thing where they like say made in Italy, but they use some technicality and it's not. So you actually have to research the brands because they'll say Vermont or Canada, and it's not actually, because those are the two places. Right. If you want to get the real good stuff.
Alaska does actually like produce it there too, and they had really good because we're up in like central Alaska.
I've never messed around with Alaska maple syrup, but
it's pretty good stuff too. It's it's their own thing.
I know Vermont,
but
and
it's
Canada.
Up there with Canada. It's like adjacent to.
But
these guys, I mean, we literally walked outside and saw their trees with the stuff pumping it into their stuff. So, unless they were just faking it, it didn't taste fake.
Oh my gosh.
It tastes pretty real.
But like because dude, I tried some of the syrup at Abby's and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be able to no Mrs. Butter, no, ever again.
Yeah. It's not the same. It's not the same. And man,
because I seriously drank a bottle of this.
I know,
a little bottle.
I knew you were going to.
Tiny bottle. I drank the whole bottle.
I knew you were going to.
Drank it.
Once you take that first sip, I'm like, oh, he's just gonna
it's over.
Drink it all.
It's over.
Yeah.
All right, we got some letters.
We do.
Oh, I was just gonna say for Mother's Day, I called my mom.
Well, that's good. That's important.
Yeah. And I got her some gifts that arrived today. Amazon was backed up.
Well, I can imagine. Oh, okay. One more thing on Mother's Day. So we went down, we went very early to the movies, and we stopped by Target. I can't remember what even Janelle wanted to get, but we went down a little early and got something at Target.
Mm-hmm.
And I, the kids and I just stayed in the car. She just ran in to get whatever it was she had to get. And she came out and she's like, just look around. She's like, this is the busiest I've ever seen Target. And look around at the people, and streaming out of the front is all like dudes.
Oh, dude,
holding Mother's Day stuff. Many of them holding their kids' hands.
I went to the grocery store at like noon, and it was still all dads with their kids getting flowers, plants.
Cards.
I saw a dude with like a stack of cards, and it was just like a whole. It was like last minute Mother's Day.
Because we had to get to the movie theater. I'm like, you could right now do some Instagramming and go viral with this thing, because there were just literally hordes of streams of dads holding their cars, grabbing their kids, running to the car, holding their flower bouquets. I'm like, oh, dude, this is all the people that waited till the last minute to get their stuff.
Yeah, because there was like 3 dads with their kids in front of me in line at the store, just because I was just getting groceries, because I had to get my freaking laundry quarters.
Yeah.
My whole routine with laundry is I do some shopping and I get my $2 cash back in quarters. Almost every checkout person there knows exactly what I'm doing.
Quarter day.
Yeah. But today, and they actually, because I usually mostly buy soda and like maybe some frozen meals, right? Maybe some Halo Top and some pickles. And that's kind of my go-tos now.
Right.
But they had a great, I don't know why, I just kind of checked over at the meat counter and they had a great sale on tri-tip. Yeah. And I stocked up.
I came in tonight, I'm like, oh, you've been crock pocket.
You've
been using your crock pot.
But
tried to make that a verb.
Yeah, man, I had some tri-tip. I still got some.
Nice.
Got in a bag.
You get a tri-tip bag?
Well, I threw out my plastic containers. After a while they get all gross.
Yeah.
Like those Stater Brothers ones.
Yeah.
And I push those to the limit. And at a certain point, even I'm like, nope, they're done. Like,
you can only keep them
because
so
I don't think you're really supposed to. I think they're meant to like be pretty disposable. But
yeah,
I get my money's worth.
Oh yeah.
But even these like because every once in a while I'll read something online about like why you shouldn't like at a certain point like you definitely and so if I had a dishwasher I totally would like keep them way longer because when I had a dishwasher I had the same set. But now when I'm like washing my hand, I'm like, am I really getting everything? Because you know how like the whole thing's like they get porous and then like stuff stays in. And you're like, I don't know what's going on with these. Like
in your microwave.
Yeah, and it's like, and then it opens up and then it releases all its poison. I don't know how that works. I'm not a scientist.
Dish scientist.
So I'm like, yeah. So and then I forgot. I'm like, I should buy more. But then I'm like, I got all these plastic bags. I'll just dump all the meat in here.
Yeah, why
it
not?
Works. And then I just dumped it back out and put it on the plate and heated it up. And now I got a couple more frozen tri-tip roasts.
Nice.
Because normally that stuff's like $6-7 a pound. It was $2.99.
Nice.
Got some fat roast things. You just plop it in that crock pot and it does it up nice. Good. And it just crumbles apart, melts in your mouth. Yeah. All right, well, we got some mail.
Let's do some mail.
Joe Cooley writes in. Oh, this is really good.
This is amazing.
Hi, Phil and Brendo. Your discussion in your last episode about urine samples reminded me of something odd that happened to me. About 3 years ago, just after my wife and I had our second child, I had a vasectomy. Don't worry, this is not a gross story, and I promise this won't get R-rated. Honestly, there's not much of a story here, but just an odd detail.
Oh, no, this is a fantastic story.
After the procedure, you are supposed to give your equipment a few days to heal. And even after that, you aren't supposed to use it with your partner until your sperm count is determined to be 0. Because you're not quite shooting blanks yet.
Right.
You got to get it out of your system.
Literally get it out of your system.
This usually happens 4 to 6 weeks after the procedure, if I remember correctly. And obviously, the only way to determine your count is to produce a sample for the doctor to test. And you must do this twice within a couple of weeks and get a 0 on both tests to get the go-ahead from the doctor. Now, I assumed I would have to go back to the doctor's office and produce a sample on site, which already for me has like, I don't know about that. We were just talking about like, Phil, I could see like, what if you were in a situation where you had to do it and you're like, I don't know if you could, I don't think you could because you're like, all I know is that for me, I would go in that room and like, you know exactly what happens in that room.
It's a black
like,
light nightmare.
What's the cleaning situation in this room?
Yeah,
and like, no matter what,
I can't even fathom it. I don't know. I don't know.
But he says, to my surprise, I was told I could produce both samples in the comfort of my own home and then deliver them to the doctor's office. However, the method of transportation I was given was simply a clear plastic cup with a lid and a clear plastic bag with a label on it to put the cup into. Clear, transparent plastic. This is not a standalone doctor's office, mind you. It's just one office space out of several within a much larger office building. Am I expected to just waltz into this office building, down the hall, up the elevator, and down another hall, passing who knows how many people, all while carrying a cup of my own sample, keyword sample, for the world to see? The clear plastic cup, I can understand, but why the clear bag as well? Can't they use a non-see-through bag? Allow me a little dignity. I'm thinking the same exact thing.
Absolutely.
So just walking around with his cup?
What are you going to do? Yeah, like everyone's going to know what's in that cup.
I ended up putting the whole thing into a brown paper bag when I delivered it. And even then, the weirdness was not over. I didn't have to give it to the doctor or a nurse. I'm just supposed to drop it off with the receptionist. Here you go, ma'am. I'm just a married man handing a strange woman my sample. Weirdest transaction ever.
That is fantastic.
Hopefully I kept this story clean. I don't imagine it would fly over on the Mandarin Orange Show.
Well, let me tell you.
Keep up the good work. John Sample Bang Do. Joe.
Well, I read this out loud to Janelle, who laughed hysterically at it. So you wrote it expertly. We totally would have read that in Mandarin Orange Show. But since it was a response to here, that totally worked. So
yeah,
that was amazing. I laughed. I've read that like 3 or 4 times, and I've laughed every time now. So
it's pretty funny.
It's really stuff. Funny. Good stuff.
Yeah, like
your sample.
Just walking around in a building, like kind of like,
yeah, everyone.
And then like, what if you got stopped? And you're like talking. What do you got there?
Oh, yeah. But then again,
I swear, I'm taking this to the doctor. It's for the doctor.
But then everyone knows that if you got a brown paper bag too. Like there's no good way to do it. I'd put it in my cargo pants. That's what I would do. I'd put it in the cargos. That's the only way to get around it.
You got a bulge in your cargos there.
No, see, I always have a bulge in my cargos, so I've got stuff in there.
All right.
There's no good way to approach that.
Well, we're going to get on with the Mark Holmbach.
All right. We got some new. Has he sent new ones?
Nope.
Maybe he's allowing us to get through these.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we can do it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Episode number 55. Shows difficult to find or disappeared too soon or discussed. Did either of you ever see a series called Mr. Meaty on Nickelodeon?
I did not.
I only stumbled across it twice when it was on. What time period are we talking about? And found it funny. Is this like early Nickelodeon? Is this like 80s, 90s? It was a series about employees at a fast food restaurant in a shopping mall done with puppets. I read later, after it was disappeared, that it was canceled due to complaints from vegetarians, but I don't know how much truth there is in that claim.
This is not Wienerville.
No, I don't think so. I also know on Welcome Freshmen but he said he looked it up, so that must be the name of the show. It could have been, like in the mid 80s when they just started and they had all kinds of weird stuff on there.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably one of those weird Canadian shows because they had a ton of weird Canadian shows. I gotta look that up. A lot of 90s talk this episode. Uh-oh. As far as I'm concerned, the 90s can burn in hell. I'm sorry, but you're listening to the wrong show.
I mean, come on.
I was clearly in a rotten mood when I wrote this note, so we went back and
made no edit. Okay, so I was, let's see, when 1990 hit, I was 12. You were 10. So I was like a teenager in the 90s, right?
That's when everything was happening.
Right. So there's a lot of like 90s like kid stuff that I don't relate to as much. So for instance, like Power Rangers or something that happened in the 90s that was just younger for me.
Yeah.
So for me, like the 90s is all about like the music and
music, movies
and stuff that was
teen art stuff. But kids, I mean, we were kids in the 80s, so that's like our kid stuff.
Right.
G.I. Joe and He-Man.
By the time the 90s came around, I was junior high almost, late elementary.
I even kind of had outgrown toys already by the time Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rolled around. I didn't have too many of those. I think I had a couple.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And I was like at the tail end of my toy time.
I mean, I still played with toys.
But like getting like as far as, because by the time Teenage Mutant Turtles came out, I was firmly like, I want video games. Give me all the video games.
Right. And then I want music.
And then it's like I spent my allowance on tapes.
Right.
And
so
like,
it was, I mean, there's different parts of the 90s.
Yeah.
Same like a lot of like the trends of like toys and stuff like Tamagotchis or things like that. Again, were like
the last trend of the the last trend that I was my brother had a Tamagotchi. The last trend I really was like whole hog on as a kid was probably Pogs.
Yeah, and even then I was like, I tried it for a while. Once I lost all the ones I paid money for.
Oh yeah, that was me too.
Okay, I'm done.
But there was like a minute where I was like, Pogs!
Yeah, absolutely. But I feel like that was even like
that was like 90. That was like 90, 91. I want to say.
Yeah.
Because that was when I found out about him at the baseball card shop. Because that was when I was firmly entrenched in the baseball card world. And the baseball card guy, freaking genius that he's like, oh, hey, check these out, kids. Here's these Pogs. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. And then it's like, I'd like all the I want $5 worth of Pogs, please.
I think I was in like late junior high by the time it came.
I was definitely in junior high.
Big Bear might have gotten them later than the rest of the world. We kind of were a little behind the trend.
I think I was like 6th, 7th grade when that happened. Because I was I've told this where my brother, because remember they had like the different fancy slammers, and my brother had the bright idea to take 2 Pogs and just put like quarters in between them, and like he was a secret slammer, and he like tricked people with it.
Man. I never had a chance to. I just lost them all. That was it. I still have 1 Pog left though.
Yeah.
That I found one because our band when I was in junior high and like freshman year of high school was called Bare Feet, and I have a Pog with a bare foot on it, and I still have that.
I think I had a Pog like that
to commemorate my.
I don't know what happened to all my Pogs. The only ones that I have now are the ones Jed and Kyle gave us. Goosebumps
Pogs. That's cool.
From on the last popsicles.
I love the idea. And it's funny because for a while after the Pog thing I was done with that. I was fascinated because I watched that. There was another movie in this Christmas Story thing called My Summer Story.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Okay. It has Charles Grodin as the old man.
Yeah.
And one of the Culkins, I think, is the kid, if I remember correctly. Anyway.
Rory, Kieran.
One of them. I don't remember which one. But
Joe.
not Macaulay, but one of the others.
Steve Culkin.
Yeah, that one. Little Stevie K.
Stevie K. C.
Culkin?
Stevie C.
Stevie C. There you go.
That's a great name, Stevie C.
So in that movie, and it was great. It's a really good follow up to the Christmas Story, and it's got
it's like the narration and everything.
Yeah, same style and everything.
Wasn't this like a TV movie? Or?
This one actually, I think, came out. There was another one, the Disney one, which was
All Hot Noodles Haven of Bliss. Them?
I can't. That one I have not been able to find.
Yeah.
I have it.
And then there is. Did you ever watch Christmas Story 2, like the newer one that came out?
No,
I heard it was. I heard very bad things.
Much like Christmas Vacation 2, I can't bring myself to try it. I'm too afraid of what it will do to me. So anyway, in that movie though, it heavily features them playing marbles.
Yeah,
and I thought that was really cool.
We went through a marble phase.
Yeah, I tried it.
I feel like marbles had a little renaissance for a minute.
Yeah, I couldn't get people into it. I had some, and I tried it. And
I definitely had a bag.
I had a couple of games.
Because I got some cool marbles at the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center that actually, they look like, like in Men in Black when they're like, and they have like the little universe. They look like little planets. Because I got them at the Balboa Park at that science museum. I remember I had some of those, and I had some other ones. My brother had ones. Remember Imaginarium?
The
store?
Yeah.
He had ones from there that were like solid metals and stuff.
Cool.
So I think there was a marble thing.
Yeah.
I think pre-Pogs.
Idea.
I want to say pre-Pogs.
Well, in our town it was, but Big Bear again with trends wasn't always like exactly.
The grunge happened in like '95 for you guys.
We just got grunge like 2 years ago,
and then somebody had to be like, so you're like, man, this Nirvana thing's great. You're like, I got some real bad news.
Yeah, you're not gonna want to hear this.
And not even just. Oh, can you imagine if grunge came late? And then you had to tell somebody, because it wasn't just Nirvana. It's like, yeah, all these people are dead now. Right. If you got grunge in 95, 96,
it's too late.
They're all dead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, musically speaking, at least I was aware of current music. I don't know if
it must have been hard because I could see if there's not because we're still in the time before the internet where you pretty much it's like whatever you had access to via record store.
Yeah.
And did you guys even have a record store? We had
Village Music, but I went down the hill for music.
So you had to have some kind of, or you had to know somebody. Yeah. It wasn't just, you weren't just going to stumble. The way I got into punk rock was because I had a friend and he knew it, but otherwise I'm like, I don't know how I would have found out about that. Yeah. There's no internet. There's no, you didn't find out. So I don't know how I would have found out, but he got me into it. Or there's always that older person that's like, hey, listen to this. Check out this record. There's always that guy in everybody's life.
Bob Poole introduced a lot of
music. There you go.
Plus, I read zines and I went to shows down the hill and met people.
There's always that thing. There's always, because now you have the internet, but before, there had to be some kind of
the same kind of thing. If you're talking Pogs, for whatever reason, it just didn't come to or whatever other thing. Yeah. So I don't know.
I remember that was a funny. So there's this Louis Duncan book called "Don't Look Behind You," where this girl and her family have to go in the witness protection program.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of my favorite books when I was younger. And one of the funny things is they go to this small town and the girl discovers that she's doesn't have to buy new clothes because all the fashions that she has are just now hitting that town. Yep. From because they're my clothes. She's like, Mom, I have to get new clothes. They're 2 years old. And then she goes to school and she's like, oh, these are just now popular here. I'm golden.
That is a real thing, man. That is a real thing.
Well, it's it was definitely because I remember living in the Midwest I saw that happen. Because I when I got there, I was like, oh, this stuff they're like, oh yeah, this is new. I'm like, no, it's not. This is there's definitely it's definitely a thing.
Yep.
Because a lot of these places are super isolated. They don't have the town I lived in. Our high fashion was whatever was at Walmart.
We had dude, we didn't get a Walmart. No, a Kmart. We didn't get a Kmart until my senior year of high school or junior year. Up until that point, the only place to buy clothes in town was a ski shop or Beano's. Every kid shopped at Beano's. And we all knew Beano's. Unless you took a trip down the hill to a Walmart or a Kmart or a Target or something, it was Beano's. So we had a very focused, like, inbred group of clothing options up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's small town talk for you.
Mario sent a letter. Should we take a side track?
Okay. Yeah. That was all based on his bash in the 90s, by the way.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, I guess it depends on your experience and how old you were when that decade happened.
What did the 90s do to you, Mark?
Happened? All right, we got Mario.
It works. What works? Mario just said it works.
All right. The chat works.
Okay.
The letter works.
Brendo is definitely Sheldon. Oh. He said Bazinga for free when I wrote it in a letter.
He tricked you.
Stanley was not a watcher. I know. Everybody's arguing about this. I agree because he's with the Watchers, and then why has he got a spacesuit on if he wasn't?
Yeah, he wasn't dressed like them.
He said testing iPhone.
Okay.
Oh, he said it works. Like, it works. I'm in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's chatting. Okay.
Hold on, let me pull this.
Okay, yeah. He was with them.
But he's definitely not human.
No.
Because, he knew
how was he on
he was
that
aware, and also, how is he
them?
aware that he was multiple
right
things? So I don't know. I think it was just a wink and a nudge to because people have been theorizing about it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But we're just, so it was just his turn to report to the Watchers after Fantastic Four 262, the trial of Reed Richards, Claremont came from slip into the police. Also, Stanley's costume is reminiscent of Robert Heinlein's "Have Spacesuit Will Travel."
Interesting.
Zune. I saw it coming. Oh, the Zune joke that was one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the lost Zune used to belong to Stanley.
That's funny.
Yeah, when he's like, it's when he pulled out that, because I was like, oh, it's gonna be an iPod, and then it was a freaking Zune.
That was even better. Well, yeah, because once his Walkman is broken, how are they gonna have music still? Like, you knew it was something, but I did not see Zune coming.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you think Microsoft's like, please put the Zune? Well, you can't buy them anymore.
No, it's not gonna help them any now.
Do you think they had to pay Microsoft?
I don't know how does that
they probably just got permission because it's a funny joke.
Yeah. I mean, like, how does product placement work on a product that's not there anymore? It doesn't exist anymore.
What if this is how they bring back the Zune? I bet you people, if you could buy a Zune with Awesome Mix,
they probably would sell them
Awesome
right now.
Zune.
People are buying the cassette tape version of it all over the place.
Speaking of that, it's in somebody bought it on our Amazon.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right, we got Guardians 3 opening sequence, breakdance battle with Africa Bambaata's Planet Rock playing, 299 songs left. What could it be? It's a lot of songs. Like, he's just talking about.
Okay. That's on the Zune. 299.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've got a lot of good songs already.
Oh my gosh. I've been listening to Awesome Mix Volume 2.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much nonstop. I'm playing a lot of Diablo 3. I finished the final. I got my set because I did the first 4 chapters. And then I did and now I'm working on the really difficult stuff.
Ooh.
But I listen to music because they have Spotify built into PS4.
Nice.
And then I'm listening to that. I'm listening to new Amy Mann, which is amazing. It's just really depressing, but it's so it's kind of this funny dichotomy. I'm playing Diablo and I'm listening to this because she was on Marin and she played one and it's really good. Marin does a really good job of promoting music and stuff because I'm I want to listen to that, and then and he's had a lot of pretty awesome. He had oh my gosh. He had Mark Mothersbaugh on, and Mark Mothersbaugh is awesome,
cool.
Devo, but he told this great story because he told one of the best stories Mark Mothersbaugh told was how he went to not CBGB, he was at one of the other New York clubs in 78, 79 because they used to play out there. It was Max's Kansas City, which is the other big where basically that whole scene started,
right.
and they have a song where Mothersbaugh basically emulates John Lennon's vocal style, doing yeah, from She Loves You, yeah, yeah.
Right.
There's one more he's basically that. So Mark Mothersbaugh and one of the other guys in Devo, they're in their car getting ready to leave, and a drunk John Lennon just comes right up to his window and gets right in his face and goes, yeah, he knows who he is and he's emulating it. And Mark's that could have been the end of our music career right there. And I would have John Lennon knows who you are and is mocking you, but in a he's I could die right there. That's it. That was And I'm like, man, imagine being like a kid in a punk band,
And
John freaking Lennon, because he knows about your song.
That's pretty impressive.
I would have freaking, dude. I'm like,
see, I listen to music when I play video games too, but I listen to like records is like my go-to thing.
yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Starflyer on vinyl these last couple of days.
I listen to a lot of Starflyer. I listen to the radio BrendoMan mix.
Nice.
A lot.
Good. You guys should do that.
Yeah.
How do they find it again?
Well, I have it on the thing, but I gotta find the thing.
Oh, we can tell you.
I'll tell them later.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's on. I think it's tiny.url/Radio BrendoMan. I think that's what it is.
Sure, that'll get you something. All right.
A missed call.
We have one more from Mario. Okay, while Brendan's doing that, I'll read Mario's last one. Guardians 3, Jeff Bridges shows up in blue paint, wanting to know who's responsible for his brother Yondo's death. # mic drop.
I don't know what's happening. It says I have an ongoing call, and it's from a chat from March of 2016. I think somebody's in an old hangout.
Oh, yeah, someone probably is. Get in the one from today.
Get out, whoever's in there.
No, I know what happened. It's because you did the mic check thing and we looped and you broke time and space. You entered a call from back then, and someone in 2016 is talking to us right now.
All right, Guardians 3, Jeff Bridges shows up in blue paint. Want to know who's responsible for his brother Yondu's death. That would be amazing.
That'd be good.
Mic drop. # mic drop.
Dude, I would be down for that. That movie was so good.
Is there a way I can end this one that somehow some people...
I don't know. Whoever's in it, if you're chatting with us.
I don't understand.
Well, you ready?
Sorry. Okay, let's go back to
Mark Kalmbach.
All right. Weird or discontinued foods.
Yeah.
We talk about like the same 8 things.
Yes, we have very, very limited repertoire here.
Yes, buying food at a dollar store can be an iffy prospect.
Yeah.
Because this was probably back when I was going to that grocery store in Poway.
Yeah, that's right.
That I found. Yeah. That was when I started my 99-cent. Because I wouldn't go, but I'm like, I'm going to try this. Because I had to make my dollar stretch down there. Yeah. There was a grocery store here called Grocery Outlet. We have Grocery Outlet here.
Oh.
Which used to sell discontinued and foreign foods. Also damaged foods. I assume from train or semi-truck wrecks. Food test runs. That's where, remember those chocolate Lucky Charms? We found it. Where was that? That was wasn't it? That was a Big Lots.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
But I think they're just like, these didn't work.
Nope. I've gotten some good stuff from Big Lots, though, for that. You have to be picky, though.
They had then there's you can sometimes find like all the weird Cheerios.
Yep.
That don't
and Doritos sometimes.
Yeah, I found they had the roulette at 99-cent store for way after.
Yeah.
I went looking to see if they would have the Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo something or other.
Spicy
blue cheese.
No, that's the Jacked. I'm trying to think what was the one. Well, whatever it was, I was trying to find it.
That was a long time
ago. I could not find it. But because everyone's like, well, they got those. I am not into Dorito Jacked. It's too much.
Yeah, it's not that it's too much.
And it's also for me, it's it's very thick.
Yeah,
they're too thick.
I don't like the texture. I'll eat them if they've got a good flavor, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I remember at SummerSlam one year, they were just giving I guess I don't know if they forgot to give them away or nobody was taking them, but right before the actual show started, they were just handing out entire boxes of bags because they're like, oh, and they're just. And because I saw people walking around with these boxes of Doritos. I'm like, where the heck? They're like, they're just giving away boxes of them. So we went over there. It was like me and Benson, and they were just giving. And I'm like, and then we pulled it open, like, oh, it's Jacked, and that's why. That was why nobody. Because I opened one bag and tried some, and that was the first time I had them, and I was like, they're not as good. They're not nearly as good.
Stale.
Yeah,
make them that way on purpose.
They're like stale Doritos.
Yeah,
like stale thick Doritos. Yeah. And the flavors aren't as good.
There have been some good flavors.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. It's not the same.
All
right, where are we at here?
It is no longer as adventurous as there just isn't much of this sort of thing nowadays. But interesting items still manage to slip in from time to time. It's true. It's not, dude. Going to Pick and Save like in the 80s. That's
that was
that was where you found like your Crunch-a-bungas.
Yeah, that dude. We bought all of their stock of it, and we made those last a long time.
Man, if you had just saved one bag, you could have been a rich man. Because Dinosaur Dracula bought his bag for I'm pretty sure it was hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, but there's no way I could have looked at that for that many years and not eaten
store it away.
There's absolutely no way.
You just forget about it.
No,
you do like a Clark Griswold and push him behind the thing in the attic. Could you imagine a scene where you're like, I think my food's there. You pull out Crunch-a-bungas.
Crunch-a-bungas. Oh my god.
Dude. If somebody had a bag of Crunch Taters, I think I would eat those right now. If someone just put a bag of Crunch Taters in front of me with that freaking crocodile on the bag, I used to love that little cartoon guy.
You know that if we
jalapeno Crunch Taters, man.
If we appeared in Bill and Ted style and gave ourselves a time machine, we would go back and
just go to the store and just eat your back. Oh. that was what.
Let's come. It's back. Yes.
Brendan, your dad's alive. I don't care. Give me that Yoshi soda. Give me that Ninja Turtle. Just going around all the
orbits.
Food.
Squeeze it.
Give me all the squeezes. And then I just go and there's you would just see us go to the juice aisle. There's just Ecto Cooler everywhere and Squeeze-Its and Shark Bites. And we just fill a whole entire cart. That would be a great time travel movie. No, it would be okay, you guys can time travel, but you can only do it for food.
Food time travel.
Food travel. And you just feel it's just these slow motion bus going down oh.
And then I'd go to Taco Bell and get a beef fajita,
get a bell beefer,
fajita.
Get a bell beefer for Brian Apodaca.
Oh, dude! And then we just go to all the restaurants.
I know that commercial.
We get pizza at McDonald's. That's where we go for lunch.
And I'd get a McDLT.
Yes, McDLT. And then what was the one where they had in two halves?
That was the McDLT.
That was a McDLT. Okay. Where you had the two boxes of the box.
And all the foam boxes.
And then I would get what's the other one that I really like? The
Deluxe.
What was that one called?
Arch Deluxe? That thing was garbage.
No, not that one. Then it was later.
McLean Deluxe?
No, later than that.
That's the only other deluxes.
Okay, maybe it wasn't called Deluxe then. But it was it had mayonnaise and onions on it.
Talking about the Big and Tasty?
Big and Tasty. Oh,
you actually like those?
Oh, I love the Big and Tasty. That was their best burger.
No.
Oh, dude, I love Big and Tasty. I crave Big and Tasty every once in a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were that guy.
I was the guy. That's why they kept it around for a little while.
It was 99 cents.
Yeah. Dude, and it was Big and Tasty. Right in the name.
All right. Weird or anything things I remember. This store.
All right, what did you get there?
Alvin and the Chipmunks bubblegum flavored pudding cups. Bubblegum flavored pudding.
Oh my gosh, that sounds disgusting.
I eat far too many of these. Apparently, I didn't have very good taste back then. Celery flavored Jell-O. Never tried it.
Now, vegetable flavors used to be a big thing with Jell-O.
I know, but that sounds awful.
Like in the 50s and stuff.
That sounds awful.
I didn't know it made it that far.
A Canadian microwavable meal. One of those meals in a tray sort of things. Or Kraft dinner. I guess just a frozen dinner.
Yeah, something.
I bought it, and when I took it out of the freezer a day or two later, where one would normally expect to see a plastic seal affixed to the tray covering the food, there was none. Worse, the food looked not unlike a brick of vomit.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh, that sounds awful. They also used to sell a lot of random non-food items here, including books and toys. Once I found a package of muscle figures. Remember those little guys? Love the heck yeah. Dude, if I found a package of muscle figures now, because those are worth money now, I would buy them in an instant.
Oh, dude,
and then the garbage can.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had so many of those. Freaking love those things. Those things were awesome. And then when they came out with all the different colors, because the original one was just all pink.
Yeah.
Then they came out with the different colors, and then I remember they had Cutie, which was the girl ones. I was dork.
Yeah, here's the thing though, they're still making those. They just every couple of years they make a new time.
Well, because then it was Monster in my pockets, and now it's the Shopkins.
Shopkins and
they're always some little thing.
It just keeps going.
Oh,
it
just
never stops.
Parks with playgrounds. There's a nice park not too far from where I live that used to be great. The play area was fun. There was a nice building for get-togethers, a pond, a river, more like a creek, ran through the park, complete with quaint old-style bridges and other various pluses. Since then, the creek has been filled in and the bridges removed, the playground completely reworked, and the lesser for it, the meeting building burned down and replaced, the vintage stone fence surrounding most of the park removed. Any character it once had has nearly... Oh, excuse me.
He just burped in his letter.
Has nearly all since vanished. That happens to a lot of parks.
Yeah. Well, and all the good old...
when they took all the merry-go-rounds out.
The rocket ships.
Oh. I know there's still
jungle gyms are mostly
gone. I know there's still some rocket ships out there in the world. People take pictures. I think the one down in like San Diego somewhere might still be there. I'd have to look it up. I
love that rocket ship. We went to the one out near my grandpa's house with Audrey when she was little, and I have pictures of me going on it with her, but I think that one's gone now.
Yeah. Because I just remember they had like a giant, basically a giant pit.
Yeah.
And because you got a pole that could go all the way down.
Yeah, well, it did kind of spiral a little bit, but then they got the pole part where, and then the slide was the hugest slide.
Huge, giant slide.
It was fast.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing like the rocket slide.
Gosh, dude. You guys talk about the film Falling Down. This was the first R-rated video I ever rented. The first R-rated movie I ever saw was Blazing Saddles.
That's a good one.
I don't know which the first one, because I remember seeing video on VHS R-rated movies.
Right.
The first one I saw in the theater, which is probably what we talked about, was I saw Glory, because my dad was like, it's historical, and I was a Civil War nut, and I do not think I was ready.
Yeah.
Because that one had guys getting their legs cut off by cannonballs and stuff. It was very graphic.
Right. And then I'm sure I mentioned mine, but for memory's sake, my first R-rated movie in the theater, my mom took me to see Punchline with Sally Field and Tom Hanks.
That's such a dorky.
I know. It wasn't like Terminator or something. It was Punchline. We had fun. It's a kind of a dark movie.
Mario just said it was me in the old chat room. New phone. Who dis?
Oh. That's funny. All right. I'm glad you figured it out now.
All right, it's because I didn't hang up the old ones, and they're eternally
just hanging out there.
Brendan talks about being nervous. We skipped one. Phil talks about a Twilight Zone book he had finished reading.
Oh, geez.
I thought I'd take a brief moment to recommend my two favorite Twilight Zone books: The Twilight Zone Companion by Mark Scott Zicree, and The Twilight Zone: Unlocking the Door to a Television Classic by Martin Grams Jr. Do you have either of these?
I don't know.
Zicree's book is lighter and more fluffy, while Graham's is more dense with details. Both are quite good, and together give one a fairly well-rounded look at the series.
Huh. I'm pretty sure, the Twilight Zone book I was talking about was actual, stories, like Rod Serling stories. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Or maybe you were reading...
I might have read
something about the show.
I don't know. I mean, this is so long ago.
We've got to go back to episode 55.
Yeah.
Brendan talks about being nervous going to the children's book area at his local library as a single man.
That's definitely one of the subjects you talk about. Man,
yes, there are a number of things I suppose a single man shouldn't be spied doing in areas he should avoid. As a single man myself, I've received strange looks and interesting comments in some places. Perusing the toy area when seeking gifts for nieces and nephews comes to mind. I've also received comments while visiting places like Silverwood, a small amusement park in northern Idaho, and my 2005 visit to Disneyland. I wonder if I took his ticket.
You might have.
2005 Disneyland. I was working in the main entrance. Depends on what month. Because I started working there in July of 2005. What if I took Mark Kalmbach's
might
ticket?
Have.
One woman informed me that she thought I was brave to visit the park on my own. Oh, I would have yelled at that lady.
Yeah.
I never got anyone actively saying anything. I got looks. But when I worked there, I went to because I didn't have any money, so I just go to Disneyland.
You're already there, right?
And I could go, and I would totally go back. I would go back to the in-between. I would put my name tag on, go back to the in-between, eat my $1 meal or whatever, just not the beefaroni.
No.
But I'd get a quesadilla or a grilled cheese and a cookie, and I'd steal a soda because that's what we all did. And I didn't even know it was stealing until 7 months in. I thought the sodas were free. But people just took sodas. I thought it was normal. But because half the time they didn't charge anyways, even after I started paying for it. I knew one of the main girls of the in-between, she never charged me for a soda.
Yeah.
They shouldn't charge the employees for a soda, especially if you bring your own cup. which I also did.
Well, there you go.
Because I would fill it up and then I'd take it over, and that's how I snuck. Because I would say it was water, and it was not water.
Oh,
and when I was working in the office, I could totally have it. Like once I got in the office, I always had my giant thing. Not giant, but I had a thing.
Your thing.
And people thought it was water. It was not water.
Not water.
Because we were allowed to have water. Perusing the toy. Restaurants can occasionally be annoying as well. I have been moved to different tables. I would refuse. I wouldn't do what? To accommodate couples who thought I shouldn't be allowed to sit where I was sitting.
Oh, I would love to be a fly on the wall when that happens to you.
If somebody said, like, sir, you need to move, I would be like, no.
You need to move out of my face.
Especially if I had already started eating or something. I'd be like, absolutely not.
My gosh.
That would be
I would love to see that. Just like, but I couldn't be there. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same. I'd have to like just be like spying in.
That's your new show, like Hulk out
the show.
And then it would be like it would be like a game show where people had to guess. They're like, all right, does he Hulk out? When? I give it 5 minutes.
We keep throwing stuff at you.
Here. Nope. Oh, you lost.
So first you'd be sitting there and they'd ask you to move and be okay, fine. Then you go to the next table and then we'd have the waiter come up and say, "Sir, you look just like that guy from my favorite show, Big Bang Theory. Could you say Bazinga for me?" And then you'd be like, and it would just keep going. We'd throw all these things at you, and then I don't know what would be the final straw.
He hulked out. You won the $5,000. People figuring out Derek would win every time because he would know. You and Derek,
we'd be exempt. We'd have to be the hosts.
You'd be the ones setting up the situation.
Yeah, we'd have to. Okay, we'd be on the wire to the waiter. Like, okay, who did you say now?
So it's kind of impractical.
Tell them wrestling is fake and stupid. No,
Mr. Fancy wants soda. He's making fun of me.
Oh.
I do want soda.
I like soda too,
especially when it's free.
Sometimes the soda just kind of does the job, you know.
Especially when, man, you know how whenever you get together with somebody that works at Disneyland and you swap stories. Found out today that I think I've talked about it before and we just both forgot. But like the band director at the junior high school, he worked at the Hungry Bear.
Oh, really?
And so we just swapped because it's like you served in the war together. It's like right. Even if we were 10 years apart.
Right.
But Disneyland's pretty. It's like you in between. But even I'm like, did you ever eat the beefaroni? He's like, God no. And like talking about, I'm like, man, I would never work in foods. He's like, oh, it's pretty chill. I didn't work the cash register. I would never work that. I was just like working in the back, and I never had to deal with any of the. He's like, I would never take tickets. I don't know how you dealt with that. And I'm like, and then I told him how I would get my aggression out by working fireworks and those things, so I could yell at people. I'm like, that sounds even worse because I know a lot of people like that's their nightmare is getting put on a parade shift. So then we're just swapping, and there was a third person listening. Like they're like, I have no idea what any of you guys are talking about. This is fascinating. It's like hearing all the insider talk at Disneyland.
It's a very different experience.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. All right, well I think that's gonna do it for this time.
I think so, yeah.
We just want to thank everybody if you came out to Comic-Con Revolution.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. It sounded like it went really well.
Andrew said it went great.
Yeah, Cheryl was saying it was good.
And I think they already got plans going for next year because it looked like it was a very well-attended big show.
Yeah.
Went off real well. Everybody, don't forget to click those Amazon links at radiobrendo.com, the $50 off Dream Hosts. Rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. And we'll be back on Thursday.
Yeah.
I forgot. I posted the episode Saturday or Friday. This
was last week.
Yeah. Or maybe I posted it Saturday. I posted it late. I think I posted Friday afternoon.
Well, they got to hear it now.
Thursday, I don't know what.
If you guys want to write in, like Mark and Joe, who wrote in this time, radiobrendoman@gmail.com.
Or radiobrendo.com. Use the contact form. Or Facebook. @BrendoMan on Twitter. @BrendoMan on Instagram. We're on Tumblr. We're on everywhere. And our next thing, which is shockingly 2 months away, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It's on.
Which is really crazy. Because
You're leaving.
I'm leaving for a month.
Are we? So I've got some guest hosts, but we also need to maybe bank a few.
Well, yeah, let's see
We
what we
start
can get in
doing
there.
that.
Yeah.
See what happens. But I do have, some
guest
well,
folk.
it might be the summer of Derek, you guys.
That sounds good.
The
Derek.
summer of Derek.
Summer of Derek. He's the summer me.
Yeah, summer Phil.
Yeah, he's the summer Phil.
But we've also we got in July 19th or 23rd Comic-Con. We should be hearing from them probably
Hopefully
sometime next month.
Yeah.
About what's going on with that. Comic-Con Palm Springs. It is on.
That is on.
ComicConPalmSprings.com. Get those tickets. Stan the Man gonna be there.
And Wonder Woman herself will be there.
Yeah.
Linda Carter.
And the lady that plays Rita Repulsa. Oh no, she was at Comic-Con Revolution.
Oh, okay.
The one from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Not Elizabeth Banks.
The other one.
The other one. It's got Long Beach Comic-Con and LA Podfest. And hey, if you want to have us at your event, hit us up.
Do it.
Talk to us.
We'll come hang out.
Yeah. All right, I think that's going to do it this week. So, Phil, you got anything else?
Thank you for listening. You
Not
guys rock.
this week, this episode.
This episode, yeah. We'll be back.
We'll be back. So, for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang do. All right.
Say project.
3:30, baby.
Yeah. Not all fats.
Not all fats. My comment karma did go up by like 50 or 60 today. So
yeah,
because I was posting a lot.
Stuff. Yeah. Man, Phil.
It was a dumb
That's
move.
the kind of argument that you just
I don't
run away
know.
from.
I don't know. I don't know why I did that.
I don't either.
Bored at work, man.
Because I'm telling you, you could find that same argument in 30 other places around the internet, anywhere you want to. It's happening. Might as well go in there and try to tell them like what political party they should vote for. It would be just as productive.
Not all that. Where'd the hangout go? Shoot. Everybody's on their phones now, and like I got to do this dumb thing.
Why doesn't it connect?
Because they're stupid. Because they're freaking apps. They're not even. I don't know. Google.
Come on, Google.
I gotta go get a drink real quick.
Will we bring it to you?
No, because I don't want to have it here. I just need to take a couple sips.
All right, let's get some sips.
Because then I'll get really bad. I'll get really burpy.
Yeah, don't drink the whole thing. You already, I think, burped like 3 times this episode. All right, I'm looking for my key now.
I have no idea where that is. I don't know what you did.
Where did it go?
You sure you didn't accidentally put it in your pocket?
Oh, I'm sure. I would have come across it by then. It probably just set it down underneath something on here.
I gotta clean that desk.
No, all my stuff.
Well, I'll put your stuff back.
All of the things on the desk are my stuff. Tonight I've been fiddling with the batteries in this thing here. All the teachers have been complaining about the spinners. Those things that the kids
straight up banned them at Emerton.
Well, it's funny because like
and at Rodriguez, like SBCUSD, like they do not no.
Janelle's school does not allow them, but like at Inland Leaders, they all got like doctor's notes and stuff that they're supposed to be able to use.
Oh, because they're all like what?
Because it's for like ADHD or something like that, you know, or whatever other thing, you know.
They're loud.
Yeah, but if it's for a medical thing, you can't stop them.
But it's disturbing people.
I know.
It's disruptive.
It is.
Why don't they get one that doesn't make noise?
I don't know, but Audrey and Luke keep telling us the drama of all these kids that get in trouble with them.
I think that's bogus.
No, it totally is. Like, I mean, sure, you fiddle with stuff, but that doesn't mean you have to medically have a thing that you spin around and make noise with in class.
Yeah, like you could give somebody a quarter.
Yeah, a doodle, man. Give them a piece of paper and have them doodle. That's what I did.
Here, have a battery.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the whole time. I don't need a thing that makes noise.
They don't allow any of that stuff.
Now, on the flip side, those things are kind of like somebody left one somewhere and I was playing around with it for a while. It's kind of.
I remember I was gonna get you one for this, but they make too much noise.
But I get it; they're fun. It's just not like.
Also, if they're just sitting there with that, like, how are they paying attention to like what's going on?
Well, I mean, again, like, I'm not even aware of what I'm doing. A kid
is not doing that.
No, well, because they're doing this too. They're spinny things, like it's. I don't know. We're old, man.
Still, like, if I was a teacher. No way.
But it's just the newest thing. Kids, like when we were, I don't know what, pencil fighting, footballs or whatever.
Why don't they do footballs?
No, that's not environmentally like friendly. Wasting paper,
Get a plastic one.
Doesn't have the same effect.
I don't know.
But see, like that's the thing. In our day,
in my
day, you made something. You have paper, you got pencils. You make stuff to distract yourself with. You don't need to buy something.
What about therapy nunchucks?
Yeah, get your doctor note on that.
But also, like, that's not a thing. I don't think there's no, like, I'm like, show me studies. I need results.
Right. This thing.
Somebody's making a lot of money.
Yeah, they are. But it's also interesting that, like, the higher income school, the doctors are willing to write them notes, and none of that.
Well, these people aren't. Well, because in my school, they're not going to the doctor. They're not paying a copay.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
To go get a freaking note.
But in our school, there's plenty of them.
That's like the ridiculous waste of time and money.
Yes, it is.
You go to the doctors and get a note for your spinner.
I need to get a doctor's note so I can bring my He-Man toys into school. It's medically necessary.
2017, man. All right. You ready?
Ready.
I should just not keep any of this.
Then start the timer, too.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And, we were just talking about the spinner phenomenon.
Yeah.
Your kids, do they have them?
No. I mean...
You're not putting up with that nonsense?
Here's the thing. It's just a fun little toy. Like, it's a top, basically, that you hold in your hand, but I'm not paying money for that.
How much are they?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you get them at the store?
I guess.
You get them online?
I guess, probably. Well, I know
but then they have those freaking, like, fidget boxes.
Well, that's cool, too, but, I mean...
But they make noise, and, like, they're, like, bringing them into class and being disruptive. I couldn't imagine being in a classroom where all the...
No.
Like, I would just be like, oh, my gosh.
And the kids are they're saying, like, oh, so-and-so brought one today, and some of them, like, get in trouble if they don't have a note, but other ones have a note.
The note? I'd be like, no. Well, like, I'd, like... let's take this to court.
Let's go.
With the case of the spinners, people versus spinners.
But see, like
spinners versus the school.
If their kids got one, let's say they got one in a Happy Meal, I'm not gonna like take it away. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a dumb toy. It's just the whole idea that like now they're claiming it's a thing. It's just silly. It's silly.
Remember when they banned squeezes?
Yeah. Well, same
if
thing.
We had raised an upright. What if I got a note?
Yeah,
he needs to squeeze it.
Yep.
Squeeze it notes.
Yep. Or British Knights.
Oh my gosh.
They're always banning stuff at school.
Therapy bong. I have a doctor's note. That's what
Mario says in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Hey, it's legal.
Yeah.
Not for
It's it's silly. It's a silly thing. But whatever. It's harmless, I guess.
Not to a teacher. I would not, dude. Thankfully they're not at my school. Like it's not a thing because they like I don't know if they put their foot down or what. But if somebody brought those in the computer, I would refuse. It's hard enough. Like sometimes where I'm just like quiet quiet. If they do no
100% no fidget things.
No.
And yet you don't mind if I.
You're not making noise. If you made any noise,
I'm doing this.
Well, you're ruining our recording.
Well, that was an example. I'm not doing it the whole time. I know you used to like it when I did the puzzles during the show. I do get a lot less puzzling done now that we record in person, You know,
it isn't puzzling.
What's that?
Listening to the podcast on Stitcher.
That's true. That is an unpuzzling thing. It's very clear cut and simple.
Or Google Play Music.
Yeah.
Or iTunes.
Or TuneIn?
TuneIn Radio is a thing.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
We're on it, though.
I guess.
Pretty sure.
I think so.
Looked it up once. I think we're there.
You need to put the links to your feeds on your Mandarian Orange show so they'll show up in your little, and also in Alex P. Keaton, because on your Alex P. Keaton page, you're doing a podcast no on alexpkeatonismyfriend.com. There is no link to subscribe to your show.
Really?
Because you haven't put the links to your iTunes feed in your settings, so it won't make those buttons.
I should do that.
Because right now on your page, you don't have any link to your iTunes. You have nothing. You have the audio files.
I didn't even know.
It's not a podcast.
Man, why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I thought maybe you would figure it out.
Nope. I'll do it now.
Well, you better do it.
All right. Is it on Mandarian Orange Show, though? So I obviously know how to.
I did it.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
But I don't have your iTunes, but it doesn't have some of your other links, and you got to fill them in.
All right.
And then you definitely have to do it on your other one.
All right.
But a defanged rattlesnake has a soothing sound. I have a prescription for it. It's defanged, and it's just like rattling. You're just like holding it up.
ADHD.
ADHD snake.
It's a service snake.
Service snake. Oh, don't worry. It doesn't have fangs. Just let it latch on to you. It's latching on. That's what it does.
Good. Yeah, just let it go.
It's fine.
It'll be good. Got no venom.
Dude, the craziest. Have you ever seen the video? I have to show you this sometime. Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah. Okay.
He had a python. I think it was a python. I think it was a python named Damien.
Okay.
And then when he became a bad guy, he switched the python to a cobra.
Ooh.
And they had a defang. It had a devenomized cobra, but it still had fangs. And this is how amazing Macho Man Randy Savage was.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry, but there is no way you could get me to agree to this. But he has so Jake the Snake has a defanged cobra. He attacks Macho Man with it. Macho Man, no joke, this traumatized me as a kid. That devenomized cobra with its fangs sinks its teeth right into Macho Man's arm, and it's just gnawing on it. And they zoom in, and you're like, that is you watch because there were certain skits where they used fake cobras.
Okay.
But this was a freaking real cobra latched onto Macho Man's arm, and he's bleeding.
Okay.
And I'm just it's holy crap.
But he didn't. I mean,
it was devenomized, but then you read, and I guess even Macho Man talked about later was he did some research, and there is no way to 100% devenomize a cobra. So he's I got some of it. It definitely has something.
Wow.
It's I felt a little woozy.
He is macho.
But would you let a cobra bite you even if it was devenomized?
I wouldn't let a garter snake bite me if I could help it.
I want to know how they propose that. All right, Randy, the cobra, you're gonna let the cobra bite your arm. What?
Nope.
We'll give you an extra $10,000.
Nope. I'd let a garter snake do it for $10,000.
It's a freaking cobra. But I gotta show you the video of the cobra bite. It's
no
gnarly.
way would I even come close to that.
It's it's really gnarly. But after that, Jake Roberts became 100% terrifying.
He has a cobra.
Dude. Ugh. All right. So yeah, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, and listen to all the Benview Network podcasts while you're at it.
Of which there are many.
I just listened to the new Alex P. Keaton Is My Friend.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
Good episode. Had Janelle back on there.
Talk about canceled shows. Oh, well, there's some canceled shows.
Oh, yeah.
Not canceled. Discontinued.
Stuff that didn't get renewed.
Well, I think you're talking about Benview shows.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mario. I'm sorry. I think about canceled Benview shows.
I don't know. I don't think Benview has the power to cancel. Can they cancel?
TV. Are you telling? Don't tell us what to do.
Don't you tell me my business.
He's talking about canceled TV shows.
I will tell you this.
All my shows got picked up.
I didn't hear a single one that I got canceled.
Well, you heard Brooklyn Nine-Nine was on the bubble.
But it didn't get. It got renewed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, any of the ones that I was concerned about are all cool. So,
yeah. Goldberg's got picked up for 2 seasons. Yeah. Bob's Burgers got picked up.
Fresh Off the Boat is good.
Last
Son
Man
of
on
Zorn,
Earth.
though, is. I don't
okay,
know
that's the one where I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on there.
I haven't heard anything. It's probably canceled.
But we're not in like a Grinder type situation where like my favorite show.
Well, that was like a lot happened at once. It was like Grinder, Agent Carter.
Yeah, like
the Muppets.
There were some
I remember when those all got canceled
at
once. I was very upset.
This time, there's nothing like traumatizing.
He said Powerless. I never watched Powerless. Sorry, Ron Funches.
It sounds cool, but yeah.
And now that it's over, are you ever gonna watch it? Because it's like I don't know.
Do you want to get involved in something you know is? However, the Grinder you should still, because it's still amazing, even if that's all we ever get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all the ones I was concerned about, Last Man on Earth.
I already said that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of others. I don't know. They're all good. It's all happening.
Did you hear there was that one show, the Timeless show, that like got canceled, and they said, "Oh, people flipped out enough." They're like, "Oh, never mind."
No.
Yeah.
So flipping out helps, just not enough with the Grinder.
I think people are over sending in stuff. Remember that was a thing?
Yeah.
I think that's over now. Now it's just internet outrage.
Yeah.
You don't need to send in things.
Right.
I remember when Veronica Mars got canceled, I sent a box of Mars bars to somebody at the CW.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Well, they got a movie out of it at least in the end.
Yeah, but that was after we had to like give our actual money.
Yeah.
Because it all started because it was, the first thing where people sent in, it was that show there was a WB show. What was it called? It was like the kids, some of them were aliens in high school. And what was that show called? And apparently they all liked hot sauce. Like the aliens liked hot sauce.
Okay.
So they sent in like just boxes and cases of hot sauce. And then I think it might have worked. And then the one that also worked was Jericho. So there's a famous line where the guy says, "Nuts," like to this, like, and people sent in nuts. And it actually worked. So then it wasn't Kyle XY. This was like this was the one that what's her face from what's her name? Crap. Now for the one that's in all the romantic comedies that was on the Doctor Show. And now she's just in a ton of romantic comedy. Yeah, it was a teen show that she was in on the WB. What was that show called? It's going to drive me crazy now. Now I got to look it up.
Oh, man. Katherine Heigl, hot sauce. All right, what do we got here?
It's going to pop up, man. I'm really good at Google. Nope. Roswell. Boom.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I guess the aliens liked hot sauce. They sent in like Tabasco bottles or something. Not Buffy. Jeez.
All right.
Well, yeah. So be sure to check out.
Oh yeah, do that. I was trying to remember. I thought we were in a letter. I couldn't remember where we were at.
We're on the Benview Network podcast.
I was trying to step back and remember.
And then let's all because Mario's telling us what to do.
That's right. Okay.
And
but you did do it.
Well, whatever. Check out Ray Gun Readers, Faux Boys. What else you got? Mandarin Orange Show.
Yep.
When's the new Mandarin Orange Show coming?
We record tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know your schedule.
It's it's weekly.
Well, we got a lot of stuff on there at BenvyNetwork.com. And speaking of .coms, if you're on your own .com, click the link on DreamHost on RadioRendo.com, and that'll save you $50 off your order.
A lot of dollars.
A lot of dollars to save.
Yeah.
And have a great website.
Definitely want to get that website going. I just renewed a website
You renewed a website?
I renewed a website. Uh-huh.
Which one is that?
Kids with Gas Eat Free.
That's you renewed your domain name.
Uh-huh.
That's not with DreamHost.
Yeah, but I still have that though. I'm just saying, Web Empire, whatnot.
Okay.
It's related.
Is Drunk Duck still going?
It still exists.
You better get those off of there.
I really should. Well, I mean,
We should set
I
you
have
up.
the original files.
Yeah.
You know, but I should. I keep saying I want to do it, and then I just haven't done it.
Well,
needed to do the
by you haven't done it. Mean, hey, Brendo, get this set up.
I keep saying I'm going to bug Brendan to do it, and I just haven't bugged him yet.
Speaking of bugging things to do, we had another listener say, "Hey, when can I buy a Radio BrendoMan record?"
Oh my gosh!
You know how easy that is? You have to freaking just put it on, and then we're leaving money on the table.
I have to take a picture of it.
Well, dude, come on.
All right, this is my goal this week. This last week, I took care of Marmaduke.
You could have sold record. Oh, are we gonna get a Marmaduke update?
I'll do the update when we talk.
Okay.
So this next week, I will get the record on the store.
All right.
I got one. If I get one good assignment a week, I'll do it.
Well, I got another assignment for everybody. You should be checking out Amazon Prime because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It's totally awesome.
If you forgot to get your mom something for Mother's Day, you could get it to her like fast.
Real fast.
Yeah.
And you can get a 30-day free trial. You don't have to spend any money on it.
Yeah.
You can just get the 30-day free trial. Try it out. Go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon Prime free trial, and you'll save. You have 30 days. You won't save. You'll not pay.
That's right. With 30 days, you save.
Save on shipping.
Yeah.
Because it's free 2-day free shipping, sometimes even faster. You also got the video library. You got the Kindle library. There's free books. You got the Instant Watch. You got the music library. You get discounts, 20% off video game pre-orders. Can't beat all that stuff. And they're always adding new things. Crazy new things. And even if you already have Prime or you don't have Prime and you don't want Prime just because you're some weird Scrooge type person and you got your money bin and you don't want anybody to touch it and you want to buy something to clean your lucky dime, your number one dime.
Number one dime. This is a good DuckTales reference.
And I cannot wait for new DuckTales.
It's going to be very exciting.
So freaking excited.
Yeah.
But hey, if you want to get ready, you can buy DuckTales on Amazon.
You can. And
you can buy lots of things on Amazon. And when you do, go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon banner, buy your stuff. No cost to you, but we are that's the best, easiest way to help the show. Everybody should be doing it. The free things you can do to help the show, free, like easy ways. 1, rate, review, subscribe. Yep. Review, please.
Easy.
And then buy stuff on Amazon.
You're already doing it.
You're already doing it.
No, you are.
And then we read it.
You're on the internet. That means you're buying something on Amazon.
We've got Trader's Blade, The Great Coats.
Is it a book?
These are books.
It's like a book.
Let's just look at this real quick. And Sebastian de Castel with swashbuckling action that recalls Dumas's Three Musketeers.
Sounds good.
Sebastian de Castel has created a dynamic new fantasy series in Trader's Blade. That's 4.5 stars.
Wow, that's pretty good.
In Trader's Blade, a disgraced swordsman struggles to redeem himself by protecting a young girl caught in the web of a royal conspiracy.
Well, there's 3 books in the series. All right, that sounds good.
An all-around brilliant fantasy debut, and one of the best I've read in a decade.
Sounds good.
And there's the guy.
You can follow him.
He's an archaeologist.
Wow.
He's a Renaissance man. There you go. And then they got Night Shadow, The Great Coats, Book 2.
But not Book 3, huh?
Maybe it's not out yet.
Oh.
Or maybe they weren't ready.
Oh, there it is. It's down further.
Saint's Blood.
So they got the trilogy.
We got an Ion Audio Air LP 3-speed belt drive. Oh, this is
a turntable.
This is a it's Ed Rosendale, I believe.
So was asking about it in the.
Well, it was one of the ones I think I suggested
in the group, yeah.
And then he bought it, and then he was playing his Radio BrendoMan record.
Nice.
I want to make sure that that's the right person, and so it's
in the group. Someone asked about it. And speaking of which, while Brendan's looking, you guys should join the Radio BrendoMan Facebook group. A lot of fun stuff happens there. You want to keep up to date on the latest happenings of all over the place. Man, this is the place to do it. Everyone's always posting good stuff.
Yeah, Edward Rosendale bought the Ion turntable.
I didn't even see
it's
that.
Got a cool clear.
Did we post that today?
Yes, this was just recently.
Oh, okay, that's why I haven't
5
seen it.
hours ago.
'Cause I haven't been in there. Sweet.
Hey, look at that. Somebody that at one point deleted me is maybe they deleted their account because it's weird where I'm like, weren't you out of you're re-adding.
It's possible. So people do that though, where they
I
like
know.
delete and then re-go in.
Because I haven't seen her around. That's funny though.
All right.
Now I need to get off of
Now you're on your
Facebook.
Facebook page. What else did people buy?
Well, this cool Ion turntable.
Yeah, I like
It's
it
a
with
US
like the glass top.
Oh, this is because he was asking because he's got Bluetooth speakers, so he wanted one that had a Bluetooth out so you can connect to Bluetooth speakers. And it's a wireless streaming turntable.
That's really cool.
And it can also output to USB. So
that's awesome. That's the way to go. And $70, $68.85 with Prime. That's a pretty good deal for a turntable.
And it's got 4 stars because you have those. What's that brand that everybody buys and it's really overpriced? Because I even said it was like these are really overpriced.
Yeah,
and it's the one that it's like the. But I'm like, I don't know. Unless you're like, because I feel like there's with turntables, there's either like the affordable ones, and then there's the overpriced ones,
right?
And then there's the actual like expensive really good stuff. So
like
those middle ones,
yeah.
But those middle ones, you don't really. I was like, you don't want to like spend too much on like these lower end ones,
right?
Like it's just not worth it,
right?
And if you're gonna spend money, you want to go up to that high level.
Yeah, it's not necessary unless you're like an extreme audiophile.
Yeah,
you don't
you're
need
not
to go
gonna
crazy.
Unless you have like the most distinguished ears.
Yeah, and
Audio Technic. Those are the ones that tend to be because those are all the hardcore. I love you told that story about like people calling them like that the kids call them vinyls.
Yeah, yeah.
Which that's not proper English.
No. And it was so funny because she was like immediately like when I said, "Oh, I'd like to get one of the records," she's like, "Oh, good." Like you could she's like sighed a breath.
If somebody told me I would like one of those vinyls, I would refuse to acknowledge that.
Right. And I clarified to her. I said, "It's
I comic book guy them, and I wouldn't feel bad about it because that's not a proper use of English of the English language, and I refuse. I
like
when you're talking.
Vinyl.
I collect vinyl.
Right.
That's a plural term referring to records.
Exactly.
Those are records.
You could say LP if you
They're
really
not
want
vinyls.
to.
You know what vinyls? That could mean vinyl stickers.
Pants.
That could mean vinyl flooring.
Yeah.
That could mean vinyl is not. No.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
No.
It was a fun conversation there. I think we talked about it.
Yes. It was on Alex P. Keaton.
Alex P. Keaton. That's right. I couldn't remember which show I actually talked about it on.
That was a really weird episode.
It was a very weird episode. Yeah. They divorced over at the Keaton's
There's
house.
a divorce, and also like I love the whole thing you brought up how like the Keatons wouldn't promise their kids that they would never get divorced.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up. They're like, I can't. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, how can you tell your kid that?
If I like Jennifer's what, like 10?
Yeah, I think she's like 10 at this point.
If at 10 years old, because my parents did end up splitting up, but even then they were still like really like careful about it.
Right.
Like, but it wasn't at that time. If I was at 10 years old and my parents said that, I would never sleep again.
No, because you never know. Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. That's what he tells her.
That's still one of my all-time favorite Freaks and Geeks moments. There was just one of those kind of throwaway things was when because like Neil's parents are getting divorced.
Yeah.
And so Sam's freaking out about it. And they're in like Sam's room and it's like, and they're talking, and it's like, do you think mom and dad will get divorced? And then right then, Harold comes in his underwear, and they just start
talking about,
and they just start laughing. And they're like, no, like, no.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what's so funny? And they just start laughing. And they're like, ah! And they're just like him and Lindsay.
And then he's all,
like,
you kids go to bed.
Yeah. But they're like, yeah, no. Like,
yeah, that is great. And the Keatons just tell their kids, I don't know.
Joe Flaherty.
Oh, I love that show so much.
It's the best show.
I love it so much.
Let's not spend the next 20 minutes talking about it. Let's finish.
All right. What else do people buy?
You got Pelican Air 155 note case, no foam.
A case for something. What are they bringing a case for?
I think these are like those cases that you like put like
stuff in.
Well, like these kind of cases, because then there's ones with foam in that you can put like little figures.
Okay.
or like video equipment. Yeah, this is for like video camera equipment.
Okay.
But remember Steve had like a gun one and I thought, I'm like, does Steve have a rifle?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you guys gotta check this out. He opened it up and it was all his little Warhammer figures. Because he had a freaking rifle case.
Yeah, and he kept his Warhammer stuff in there.
Because he was a figure painter.
Paint them and stuff.
He was one of those.
I remember him explaining, because he would tell me, like, yeah, if this is painted, this thing's worth like $50.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
you could sell them for a lot of money.
Why?
Because the time, people don't want to spend the time, but they want those cool hand-painted.
Yeah.
And there are people that make a good living doing
that's
those.
what he did for a while.
Yeah.
Paint figures.
Yeah.
So
doesn't he work at Games Workshop and stuff?
Yeah, and then he would like sell those. And,
yeah.
Jeez.
All right, we got Electop Firewire. It's a Firewire female to male. Wow, somebody's going old school because Firewire is not even a thing anymore in the newer stuff. But if you have old Macs and old stuff,
okay,
you need those.
Need those little cables.
I have a Firewire cable for the older Macs because they don't have Thunderbolt, and if I want to do like a quick transferring stuff, it's faster than using USB.
Huh.
But I'm like, I can't believe that this used to be like the fastest way. So I remember when I forgot somebody I knew, I think it was Mike, got like a video card and you could like transfer from your camera with Firewire, and they're like, oh, it's so fast. And it would take like an hour to like, and it's like, this is amazing. Man.
We used to live in that time.
I remember like rendering videos overnight, like on like Adobe Premiere and
leave
stuff.
It to go.
Yeah, and just let it do its thing and come back and hope that it didn't like crash
or something. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Because remember, didn't that happen to Ryan Murray?
Oh yeah.
Like leaving, he did that one project and I think it errored like a bunch, and he like was freaking out about it.
And all the art majors with their zip discs.
Yeah. Oh, and that was like the biggest, like that they would spend a bunch of money to get those because that was.
Well, I remember because then if you were really serious, you would invest in the Jazz.
Yeah.
Because those are those tape cartridges.
Yeah.
Because they also had Jazz drives, but that was because I think the Jazz drive held like because a zip disk had like maybe 200 megabytes, which is like 200 floppies.
Yeah.
Because the floppy's 1.44 megs, I think. It was like 1.44 megabytes, I want to say. So you had a zip disk, which was like, I think the first ones were like 100 megs. Then it got 200 megs. But then you had the 1 gigabyte Jazz drive tapes.
Yeah.
And that was like, those were like $50 for just like one tape. And I accidentally, I think for a long time I had Steve's zip drive. And then at some point I'm like, this is not a thing I need anymore. And he doesn't. And I remember, I think I even like sent him an email. I'm like, hey, do you want this? And he's like, no.
Why would I need that?
You connect it to a printer port.
Yeah.
Like it would probably, like, I can't imagine. Could you imagine writing something to a Jazz, like a zip drive now? It probably would take like.
Well, it's amazing how much, and people like
Mario.
What?
Grandpa talk. Check.
This is totally. Because let me tell you, people today do not appreciate now, because one of the few common things that I've heard people complain about the Switch is that it has like 32 gigs of memory. And like, that's not enough. But all you need is a memory card. And the 32 gigs of memory is like $5 now. Yeah. So like, okay, yeah, it's not a huge drive, but it's really, really easy and cheap to upgrade it. Yeah. That was not a thing a long time ago. I mean, even compared to like how the Wii U is.
Well, video game systems having a hard drive.
Yeah, like
remember freaking memory cards?
Yes. Not that long ago, PlayStation 2.
Well, PlayStation 1, I still have some. And then like there was one for Nintendo 64 and like
some of them would save to the cartridge, but some of them wouldn't, and you had to like have it the thing. And
I remember when they came out with that expansion pack, and I remember the first time I rented a game and then didn't realize
it didn't work for it.
Thing, and like, I gotta get this thing. I think I may have borrowed an expansion pack from the video store I worked at and just forgot to bring it back.
You borrowed a lot of things.
Well, right, Steve, dude, you borrowed Steve's Nintendo 64 for like 2 years.
Steve would just leave his stuff everywhere.
He left it wasn't even a borrow situation. He left his zip drive. He left his futon, and then I may have broken it, and he got upset. I'm like, you left it here.
He left his Xbox.
That was our biggest fight ever.
Oh, I remember.
The futon fight.
I remember. And you guys both tried to get me on one side. I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this. Because he's like, Brendan broke it. He should pay for it. And you're like, he left it. I should have. I'm like, I'm not going to engage on this. You guys figure out your futon thing.
The futon thing.
The futon incidents.
Art Naturals Aromatherapy Top 16 Essential Oil Set. Ugh.
I'm going to assume that they like the smell of lavender.
No comment.
Like the smell of lavender.
No comment. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Awesome Mix Volume 2 cassette tape.
That is awesome.
How much is that?
I don't know. Let's find out. Better have all 5-star reviews.
And it's 4.5 stars.
What? Oh, look at that.
It's $12.98, and it comes with a free MP3 version, auto rip in your Amazon account. Oh, it doesn't come out till June 23rd.
Oh, like a pre-order.
Man, vinyl's $30.
Look at that, though. That thing is a thing of beauty.
It is. It's tape. It's got the things, and you can get it. You can get it. Oh, you can get both.
I'll tell you,
$22.52.
I am such a sucker for like, what is that Doritos thing there? Oh, that's just their like promo.
That's
thing.
the bag.
That's right. That plays this.
But
Okay.
you can't get it anymore. It's long gone.
Yeah.
There was people that were basically saying they're going to because they didn't say when it was going to go on sale, and it came and went, and I think they only had like a very it was like the Pepsi, it was like the Back to the Future one, and people having Twitter meltdowns over it, pretty amusing. Because I'm like, first of all, every review says like, this is a total novelty. You don't even like you don't want to listen to these songs. You don't want to listen to these songs on a Doritos bag form.
Are you gonna keep that forever? Like, what are you gonna do with that? Even me as a hoarder, I'm like, dude, where am I gonna put that? What are you gonna do with that?
It is kind of awesome.
It's great. It's awesome. I love the idea.
But the way people were flipping out is because it also came in a box, and like you got this whole thing. And I don't know, but it's still like, yeah, the way people were getting worked up was really insane.
Well, it is cool though. I'm such a sucker,
how have they not learned their lesson about these limited issues? They all turn into PR disasters.
I don't know. But see, at the same time, I'm okay with it. I think it's okay to put something out there and make it like only some people get it. This doesn't bother me.
Bothers me.
It's part of the way of things.
Says the guy because he got one.
Oh, I haven't even thinking about that.
What do you think I was talking about?
I don't know. Talking about other things.
Well, limitation food items, because it's a consumable food item. That's even more stupid. There's all these Oreos that come out that I never even see.
Yeah.
And like, do you not want my money?
But maybe like certain markets, they know they can sell more of them. The South, Midwest, I don't know. Maybe there's certain areas that'll buy novelty Oreos more.
There was like a bunch that I never saw. I did get, and like the only ones I've seen this year are the Peeps ones, and those were garbage.
I liked them. We got them on vacation.
Didn't even change my poo color.
Well, we must have got them post where they fixed that or something.
It's not fair. I just thought it didn't.
Wanted pink poo.
It didn't taste like didn't taste like
Peeps.
No.
Yeah, I thought the kids thought they were really gonna have Peeps in the middle.
Well, I didn't think it was gonna be Peeps, but I didn't think it was gonna taste the way it tasted. It just wasn't.
Well, none of them actually taste like the things they say they taste.
But it didn't even taste good. It tasted like, I don't know. It was kind of a little. And it was like, I don't know. The texture was weird.
It wasn't my favorite of these special ones. I still like the candy corn ones. I know that's.
I love the candy corn.
Some people are very opposed to that.
But now cinnamon bun is a permanent flavor, and I was really into that. But now, like, I don't know. I just can't. I can't just eat it all. Well, I can't be eating Oreos. I can't do it.
No.
It's bad.
That's why we get them on vacation. That's like our only time, which is granted, frequently, but still.
Well, don't forget to check out our Facebook group and our subreddit. All that stuff's at radiobrendo.com. What's going on with the Brax thing?
Well, this week I worked on Marmaduke.
You can do multiple things.
I can only have so much time. And we went to wrestling.
We're never going to finish that.
We are. Working on it. Let me tell you what happened to Marmaduke, though.
What happened to Marmaduke?
So, I've been emailing these guys about our Marmaduke brick.
Yeah.
Have not heard anything back. Last time I heard from them was in January.
Did we get scammed?
Well, I was concerned about that. So I started like digging around. I'm like, I'm going to find another way to get a hold of these guys. And I did. I dug around quite a bit. It took quite a bit of searching, but I found a phone number.
Yeah.
Actually found a couple phone numbers. So I called the first phone number, and I didn't know, like, it just said for information. And this was not like on their regular thing. This is not on where we ordered it. I found one on like an old article from a local newspaper that they had posted somewhere that had a phone number. And then I found another one on an old Facebook page that they set up when they did a Kickstarter for it originally. So anyway, I called the first number, and it was just a guy's voice. He said, leave a message. And then I left a message, but I wasn't sure what was up with that.
Hi.
Yes. I just
calling about Marmaduke.
Please send me my Marmaduke brick. I gave my information and stuff. And then the other one I called, and they answer, and it says, yes, town of Portland. How can I help you? And I like had called like the city hall. And I was like,
I was about to ask, did you just call City Hall?
I called City Hall. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got this number from the internet about, and I was calling about this Brad Anderson thing. Oh, how can I help you, sir? And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I told her the story, and she's like, all right. And it's funny. She was very like polite to me, but I could tell there was a little bit of like irritation with whoever had not taken care of this business, right? She's like, I'm going to give you another phone number to call. Call this number. You'll talk to so-and-so. I won't say his name out there. And give him a couple days. If he doesn't get back to you, call me, and I'll make sure it gets taken care of. So I don't know what's going on back there.
Are we getting our brick?
This lady said, and she was very no nonsense. She's like at the town hall or whatever. And she said, like, we'll give him a chance, call him, and if not, I'll take care of it.
Is our brick getting installed on?
I don't know. She didn't give me any information. She said he's the guy that's supposed to be handling it.
Sounds like maybe he's dropped the ball a little bit.
So I'm wondering maybe what's going on. Maybe
this is like I have a feeling that we've stumbled into a Parks and Recreation situation.
Because I just I just called the number, and this is the town of Portland. So anyway, so she was super nice to me.
We still haven't heard. If we could, we need a man on the street.
I know, because I don't know. I mean, he said it was going to go in after.
If we have anybody that lives nearby upstate New York, Portland, New York, we kind of need a man on the street for this. But now you got this lady.
Oh yeah, so we're good. I mean,
you found your Leslie Knope.
I talked to Leslie Knope, and she said
she's on the case.
She's on the case. She's going to make sure it's taken care of. And again, she was very polite to me. I'm reading into this. I'm assuming things. But you could just kind of tell, like okay.
Maybe Jerry was in charge.
Yeah, Jerry, exactly. That's exactly what happened. This is what happened.
Jerry's in charge of the brick project, and he kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
Yeah, he sent all the bricks to like the same place, and one guy got hundreds of bricks. And Jerry, this is exactly what happened. So now that's where we're at. So things are moving in that direction, though. We will be getting that. I feel confident that she's on the case.
Yeah,
Leslie Knope.
Should we do one more Mark Kalmbach, or should we actually talk about some stuff?
Well, we got to talk about Saturday.
Oh yeah, we definitely got to talk about Saturday. I love the way you put it. You'll put it as wrestling with hats, because so it was my birthday surprise, which I've talked about.
We talked about in the last.
So first you took me in and out, and then when we were in and out, you're like, "We're going to Mentone," and I was like, Mentone?
What's in Mentone?
And then you were like, wrestling. And it was Empire Wrestling Federation, EmpireWrestlingFederation.com, who normally they've run in San Bernardino on a regular basis. I've been meaning to go to one of their shows, but their big shows are in Covina, which is still pretty close.
Yeah, but it's a little bit further.
A little bit further. But so Inland Empire, they kind of run all over. Right. And they were putting on a show at a Moose Lodge in Mentone, which is 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
And I'd never been there before. It's over the hill.
Yeah. Well, you've never been to Mentone at all.
Never been there before at all.
Moose Lodge.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. When I saw this, because I was looking around, I decided I was going to do some kind of wrestling thing with you.
Which, for you, that's like, I did not expect that of you.
I know. Well, again,
I figured we were going to a concert or something comedy or movie related.
Which also would have been cool. But and what I wanted to do was go to something wrestling that was of the size that I knew I could arrange for you to get to interview people, because I wanted you to get to do an episode of the show.
Yeah.
I invited myself to co-host it with you for an episode.
Yeah.
And so when I was looking around, and there's several, local promotions, but I saw they were doing one in Mentone, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is like a sign if ever there has been one. They're doing
and
a show.
You did a bunch of research.
Yeah, looked into him.
You learned about the local indie wrestling scene.
Well, I had to find out.
And you found out about all the wrestlers. You watched videos.
Yeah.
You were telling me, you're like, oh, this is this guy, and he did this and this and this. Like, you knew more about these, because I wasn't familiar with the EWF
I knew
wrestlers.
you weren't going to have time to research it if I was going to surprise you. Yeah. So I had to be able to tell you some stuff.
So, but then we did get there, and we realized it was an outdoor show.
Yes.
So then we had to go back to my house.
Fortunately, it was
pick
only 15
up some
minutes
hats,
away.
Get some sunscreen, because this was a hats and sunscreen situation.
Yeah.
Luckily, I just got my new glasses. They had my transition lenses, so they're awesome. I'm a big fan, and we both wore hats.
We wore hats. I do not wear hats.
Phil, I've only seen Phil wear a hat one other time, and it was for a joke, because he won the millionaire hat. That was his consolation prize after he blew a sports question on the $250,000. You got up to $250.
Yeah.
You were like one away from a big prize, because it goes from hats to like big prize.
Well, and I had gotten the polo shirt once in California, and that's the next one, and then it goes from that to cruise.
Yeah.
So I got in both times that I was that. Well, I think I won 3 times. Both of the times that I got super close, it was on a sports question. It's definitely my weakness.
And it was a sports question that I knew the answer to, so I was like, and so
anyway, I don't wear hats. That's the point.
The answer to the question that Phil missed was Chris Everett.
We still don't know. So
lady tennis player.
Yeah.
But then Phil wore the hat as a joke, and there's a picture of him. And he also happens to be doing the shocker. But so you don't, like, you're like me, like, we look dumb. It's just the shape of our head, but I have to become a hat guy out of necessity because I'm losing my hair. And Derek suggested I just shave it for the summer and see how it goes. And I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about doing it. Just to give it a little test run.
But if we're sitting in the sun for who knows how many hours, so like, if the hat was a necessity.
Because we were because then another one of my friends who's a wrestling promoter, and they're in Florida, he did an outdoor show, but they had the sense to have it under like an awning canopy thing, and I was like, I am really envious of your awning, because I'm outside right now, and he's like, yeah, we can't do that out here in Florida.
Well, no, people would die.
Like, already just being outside, because I was outside at some of those shows there. It was brutal. But this wasn't too bad.
No, it was nice. Weather was fine. It wasn't necessarily hot. It just, we were in the sun. Yeah.
And cook out there. But we got to interview 2 wrestlers. We interviewed Friar Juan Roman. And it was fun for you to be at your first indie wrestling show. And we went for the whole show. We met the promoter. We met some wrestlers. We met Awesome Kong, who's going to be she's in the Glow trailer. She's going to be one of the Glow wrestlers in Glow on Netflix, which I'm very excited about.
She's a part of Empire Wrestling.
She's part of Empire Wrestling. We talked to her. She was really cool.
Well, and so I had arranged ahead of time with the promoter. I called up and talked to him, and it was very much like a low key kind of thing, but made sure that he knew we wanted to record, and so they pulled us back, and we went in, and you can listen to the episode, obviously, MBWS, Mr. Brendo's Wrestling Show, but it was super cool because I didn't know like if they were going to be in character when we talked to them, or like what we were going to get, and it turned out
I don't know what Mario just posted. He posted a map.
I don't know either.
Why is he posting a map?
I don't know. But once we got talking to these guys, like, you got them telling their stories, and during Friar Roman, I was getting like weepy, like hearing his very inspiring story.
Yeah, and I think you finally kind of saw like there are a lot of similarities between this and the indie music world.
Well, yeah, I mean, because
even just these stories like of these people, it's like they basically give up. It's all that becomes there, and that's what they work hard at, and they're working hard and they're training. But like, for instance, Friar Juan Roman was working an 8-hour-a-day job, then he was going to English language learning class, and then he was going to wrestling school.
Yeah.
And he's been, so.
And he was like one of the best guys, like one of the best, you said he was the best talker on the mic, right? So, I mean, I don't know. You should definitely listen to that episode of MBWS.
MBWSpod.com. You can listen to it. Me and Phil talking about wrestling, interviewing some wrestlers. It's a lot of fun. That's the latest episode of MBWS.
Yeah. And I'm on it.
On Sunday, while you were doing your Mother's Day thing,
yeah,
Derek and I went to Ontario Mills to the Ontario Improv. Ontario Mills is always the parking's.
It's insane.
It's nuts.
It always has been.
It's just a nut. And it's funny because I was trying to explain to Derek, I'm like, it's because there's nothing else to do out here except go to the mall.
That's the hub. That's it there.
So I'm like, imagine where we live. We don't even have that.
Yeah. You got movies, you got the improv, you got restaurants, you got stores, you got play arcades. It's all there. I think because it's in Ontario, because we're like, how is there a GameWorks here? I thought they were all gone. And there's also a Dave & Buster's. Somehow that mall is able to sustain a Dave & Buster's and a GameWorks, which GameWorks everywhere else is gone. But it's right because it's 10 and the 15.
And also there's that like 40 screen, which is like one of the biggest movie theaters in the country.
Yeah.
And it's just freaking.
And then in the same parking lot, you've got like the 25 screen.
Well, that's why I think it's like 40 screens.
Yeah, I think it maybe even more. It's more. A lot.
There's
a lot.
Yeah, like it's insane. The whole place is nuts. And so we got to see Kevin Smith do his evening with Q&A, and it was great. Thank you to Jordan Monsanto, and happy birthday and happy Mother's Day to Jordan. And thankfully Kevin, because I was like, oh, did he make Jordan work on Mother's Day? But she was out with Jay. Like, I think they were at a convention somewhere. Because I was like, oh no. I'm like, Kevin wouldn't do that, and he didn't. So
that's good.
But yeah, Jordan, big 3-0. So that was really nice.
You allowed to announce that?
She announced it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I should.
I just want to make sure.
Oh, happy birthday, Jordan. But so it was cool, and I got to ask the last question. I asked about Kevin's plans to open a new theater, but this time once recreational marijuana is fully legal in California, he would tie it into a dispensary so that kind of pays the bills, and then you don't have to worry about and then also people are gonna come to Kevin Smith dispense where you can they'll fill all the seats.
Yeah.
And but it was great. And and he said some very nice things about me to all of these people.
You got to mention Radio BrendoMan.
Mention Radio BrendoMan, because Kevin knows. He's like, what's your podcast? What's your current show? And plugged me and Derek. Super awesome. To the point where people came up and talked to us after the show, because they were like, oh, so I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Pretty sweet.
Kevin's awesome. And it's always fun because he's got, it's been a while, so it was mostly all new material for me.
Nice.
And he did get because Harley graduates from high school on Saturday.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So he was talking about that. And she went to her prom.
He's just a mess.
He's kind of
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Well, I think she's sticking around because she's not going away to college or anything. I think she's staying in the biz.
Yeah.
And
still,
I think she is moving out, or maybe I don't know. Maybe he's found a way to
Maybe so. Maybe he's got that figured out.
Well, they do have a sweet place.
Yeah, maybe that's it. That's what it's all has been working towards.
Yeah,
I get it now.
You don't want to you make it so you don't want to leave. Why would you want to leave this? I got a 110-inch television.
That's the whole reason.
Maybe
he'd still be living in an apartment if it wasn't for that.
Somehow
I get it now,
because you could tell
a smart man.
He's man. Because even how he is, because he cried on stage when they were up there together.
Me crying
we were crying.
Once you bring a daughter into it, I just lose it. So.
Yeah, so she's graduated from high school. He was reading some text messages from her. It was very funny, and just for me, it's a reminder of oh my gosh, because even Smodcastle, Harley was 10, and then before that, I think the first time I met Harley in person, she was 3.
Yeah.
And now it's she's an adult lady.
Oh.
But, time doesn't stop.
It does not.
I mean, you're about I mean, your daughter's about to finish first grade.
Second grade.
Second grade. Oh my gosh.
Luke's going into first grade.
You're not gonna.
Audrey's
They're
going
all
into third grade.
I see even me. Well, and like you guys are talking about watching old baby videos.
Yeah,
and
like
we were having some reminiscing moments. The two men and a baby days.
I mean, it is insane.
What is like? Because I think that's cool that you can watch videos of like just that was 9 years ago.
Yeah, well,
almost.
Let's not age it any faster than it needs to.
8
It was
and a
7.5 years. She's 8 now.
Yeah,
she was a little, it's not that long ago. Oh gosh, yeah, this makes me sad. This is with 3 weeks left, and Luke's not in kindergarten anymore.
I don't know what I would do right now if I saw a video of me holding baby Audrey.
No, I know. I love watching it with them, and I can make it through if I've like cuddled them on my lap and I'm like bear hugging them. But it's
what are you gonna do when they're gone and you're watching those videos?
I can't even I can't process that now. I have to block that out. It's like going into a public swimming pool. I just have to turn off my brain and imagine I'm in something clean. I have to imagine that they're never going to get old, and then I can make it through the day. That's the only way it works.
Well, if you get a chance to go see Kevin, you should, because it was really great. And there was a lot of people, and one of my old coworkers was there.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Cool.
And he asked the first question.
And you asked the last.
Yeah. And Derek and I, we got so they have they have their 2-item minimum thing, right. And I got chips, and then I got we each had a beer, but then I'm like, I want a soda, but then it was like $6 for a one-time soda and $12 for a souvenir mug with unlimited refills. So I'm like, I went to mug, and then I got like, and I'm like, I gotta be in the black for this, so I had to get more than 2. I think I finished off. But then I ended up having to pee a lot of times.
Well, that's gonna happen.
I broke the seal, but I'm like, I gotta get my money's worth on this.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that mug, so you have the mug still?
Well, it was like a big old glass. It's like a nice one that says Ontario Improv on it. It's actually a nice glass.
So you get to keep it?
Yeah.
You have it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Because that's why it's $12.
Okay.
And it's unlimited refills. And she was really good on the refills.
That's good. If they're gonna sell it as that, then that's.
Oh, Mario tweeted me like why are you tweeting me where you live? I think that's where he lives.
Maybe
it's his current location. Maybe he did it by accident. Oh, because you can do your location. Oh, I just did it to him. Nope, never mind.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he didn't mean to.
Now we can come.
What's up?
Come get you. All right. Well, EWF was great, and they had a great weekend, and you had your Mother's Day stuff, and
yeah, we went to the book sale on Friday too.
Oh yeah, you went to the big old Scholastic
warehouse book sale.
Get any?
Cool.
What was your good pickups? You got some graphic novels.
Got a couple graphic novels, and then I also got I can't think of the guy's name now. It's the guy that wrote Hugo, and he does those like huge, the big thick books where it's probably like 90% pictures, and then the rest, there's dialogue and stories in there. Super amazing. And there's a third. I had 2 of his, and there's a third one of his that I got. So I've got a great little set now.
Nice.
But mostly we got stuff for Janelle's classroom or for the kids, like because they're devouring books faster than we can keep them supplied. So, and it's such a good, amazing cheap deals on stuff.
Well, that's to get a box.
Yeah, you fill up an entire box and put as much as you can in there for $25.
And I would have gone, but I hadn't gotten paid yet, and I didn't know. So I didn't go.
That's all right. They do them regularly, so we'll go to the next one.
Speaking of books, so I talked about we were reading Anne of Green Gables. I finished book 4, Anne of Windy Poplars. They're so good.
So good.
Oh, this one was great. I was glad that nothing too tragic happened in this one.
What's the I guess spoiler alert if you haven't read. What's the main? Because I've read.
Well, this is her 3 years where Gilbert is off going to medical school,
and
she's at the high school. She at first I was confused because she's called the principal, but I guess it meant principal teacher.
Right.
At the high school, and this is where she meets little Elizabeth, the next door neighbor, and she finds her dad, and then it's kind of like she takes the hardened teacher Catherine and turns her into she takes her to Green Gables and it breaks her hard spirit and breaks her down, and she becomes like a fun, outgoing person, and I don't know. And then she like it's just there's a lot of weird, funny, dark humor in this one, and it's told like half of it is like narrative, and then half of it is her letters to Gilbert's,
right?
And it's just really good.
It's hard because we've been watching the Kevin Sullivan movies alongside me reading it, and they pick and choose from a bunch of books, so I'll get confused. Like then I'm reading and I'm like, wait, this already happened, but then we saw it in the movie. And so the whole Anne of Windley Poplar stuff is a large chunk of the second movie.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of the stuff in the second book doesn't happen until later.
I also like that the place she lives in, Windy Poplars, is called Spook Lane.
Yeah.
And well, the house is Windy Poplars, but it's on Spook Lane. And then I'm currently reading Comics 101. It's this book that I got a long time ago about comics from Scott Tipton and Chris Ryall from IDW.
Cool.
And it's just a really good overview of the world of comics. And I'm almost done with that. I'm on pause at The Well of the World's End because that's on my phone, and I'm on Anne of Green Gables. So I'm like 4 or 5 chapters into Anne's House of Dreams, which is where her and Gilbert get married, and then they move to this cool little harbor town. So they just got there, and she's setting up her House of Dreams, and it's amazing. And
so good, right?
I really want to go to Prince Edward Island, like so bad. Like I'm thinking about postponing Tokyo to go to Prince Edward Island.
Who would have thought? But I know it though.
Like I have the means to go this summer, but summer is the most expensive time to go.
Yeah.
So
but it's also the most a lot. Like you can't go too far into.
But I would really like to go in summer because that's like, even from reading these books, you want to go in the summer.
Yeah.
And then like just watching I've been watching videos, tourist videos, everything. And then like, okay, so I've watched the first 20 minutes of the first episode of Anne with an E.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude,
you like it?
So far, it's exactly like the book.
Now, did you ever watch the old movies?
No.
Okay.
But the girl they got to play Anne is all the cast so far is so good, and just the look of it, everything looks exactly how I like. It's really good. But there is like this dark, because like this one, so they kind of, so like I think, because I haven't read, because they did write like there was an authorized like prequel, like that they like another author did, but with the permission of the Montgomery estate.
Okay.
And because there is, so Anne actually in this, they cut to flashbacks of like her before she came to, and it's a little dark.
Well, I mean, it's dark what they talk about.
What they talk about, but this goes a little bit further into then it goes a little bit further just to kind of build like that. Like she came from a horrible situation,
right?
And it goes pretty, and it's like, it's dark.
So let me ask you, like dark, like our kids probably couldn't handle it. Do you think? Oh, okay.
It's a little
we should preview it.
You should definitely. I would preview
maybe
because like basically like the people like the family with the twins and all that stuff. Yeah, like there's some abuse stuff.
Yeah,
like the dad like beating Anne, like really like,
wow,
it's kind of scary.
Okay. I mean, again, all of that is alluded to.
Yes, it's stuff that was alluded to, but not like but this is like, hey, this is what was going on.
Right.
Like it's stuff that because she has mentioned they beat her, but like this is like you flash back because and like it's like she's getting like taken to the woodshed.
Right.
Like,
jeez. I mean, again though, like it is. I can see.
But it's really good, and the guy like already like Marilla and Matthew. I'm like, oh, it's them. Miss Rachel, it's her.
Yeah.
Like it's her. It's them. And Anne, and like just the way, and like, and then just seeing Avonlea and Green, it's beautiful.
Okay, so when you're done with this one, I want you to watch the other ones.
I know.
Too. And not to say that just because I feel that way about these already, that like they just nailed it. It's all shot in Prince Edward Island. The actors just completely embody those characters. So I'm excited for you to see that too.
Well, I'm excited for you to watch
again.
these.
Not that because I'm going to watch those too, and I think they can be done more than once.
Yeah. Well, they have been many times.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. And they did the new one that Kevin Sullivan did, and that one was pretty good too. It wasn't quite up to like the other one for me, but it's been done well. And then I have a whole animated series as well.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different because they tried to add some drama. So there's a whole like subplot of the lady from the orphanage trying to hunt her down.
Oh,
or something.
yeah.
It's like super
like a
goofy.
Punky Brewster type
situation. It's
or like
goofy.
the wizard.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I'll get
goofy.
you in.
No, that's literally a line from the show.
It's the last thing I do.
Yes, that is exactly. And she's got like a sidekick or something. I haven't watched
And
it all the
Shirley.
way through. Yes,
No!
this is a scene from the show. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. It's very different. It's very loose.
All I'm thinking about, I guess for some reason I'm thinking about Inspector. Like, I'll get you gadgets.
It's in that. It's very much in that vein.
So you're on Anne of the Island.
So I finished the second one. I'm on the third one.
Oh, dude, Anne of the Island was the one that wrecked me.
Yeah.
When what's her name? We don't spoil.
Well, yeah, I'm not far into it. I just started it.
I'll just say
I've read it all before. But
the tragedy of Anne of the Island, I think it's just the way she wrote about it and the way Anne reflects on it in a way that I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, this is like very, like, if I was a kid reading this, like, I don't know, it might have helped me because like the way she writes about grief and the way she writes about death in a very no nonsense, but also very poetic, very like just like beautiful, and like they just have this frank discussion. And also I had to do some research because I had no idea what consumption was. I'm like,
I looked this up
because I thought maybe it was cancer. Because I'm like, when did they figure out what cancer was, and what did they? Because cancer was probably always a thing.
Yeah,
they just didn't
have a word for it.
But consumption is tuberculosis.
Right.
And then I found out about tuberculosis, and whoa,
it's scary.
And it's scary because it's totally still a thing in a lot of places, and it kills like 1 million people a year in third world countries, and like even the vaccines aren't really like they basically, it makes it slightly less contractable, and you want to be vaccinated, but you can, I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, and they're getting vaccine resistance.
Well, yeah, the whole superbug thing is happening with it, and it's not good.
The reason they call it consumption is that it works very slowly and drains you of your energy, and so I mean that's how the word they put.
And it's also highly contagious. Yeah, which I'm like, man, no wonder. So they did have a reason to be mad at Anne for like, she was basically hanging out with this person that had consumption.
But did they know that it was contagious?
Maybe they didn't. Well, no. Well, Miss Rachel certainly did.
Well, right. But not everyone listens to Miss Rachel. Mrs. Rachel.
Maybe this was a case where they should have listened to Mrs. Rachel.
Kind of like
she is kind of the boy who cried wolf, because she basically at the beginning is like, that kid's gonna poison your well or burn down your house.
Yeah, everything. It's just very dramatic. I love her character.
If she's not one of those from the States, like is very like, and then she says like really racist stuff. Like I think something about an Arab and something about a French Jew, and there's like
because they would have the French boys because the French Canadian there, and
so
there's very.
And they actually left that in with Anne with an E, but I'm like, of course, because that's of the time. Like it makes sense from a context. But I could see where there had to have been discussions.
I'm sure.
Because there's something about Arabs.
It's very much. But I looked up consumption too. The same thing.
I had to look because I'm like,
everyone
what are they
keeps
talking
dying
about?
from consumption. I'm
like, what are they talking about? And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that was like, I was just reading a thing about. No, I was listening. Oh, it was on the Dollop, which is you would love it because it's Dave Anthony and Garrett, and they talk about just crazy stories from history. And they were talking about somebody, this like healer woman, and her daughter got scarlet fever because she was basically using like homeopathy, and her daughter ended up getting scarlet fever in the 70s. And the comedian's like, that's an Oregon Trail disease. Like, you shouldn't be getting scarlet fever in the 70s. It's like, well, when you're using, it got to the point where her husband basically kidnapped the daughter and took her to a doctor.
Oh, gosh.
And yeah, it was just crazy. But I'm like, somebody in 1975 getting scarlet fever, that's not good. No. Well, that's like how whooping cough came back because of the anti-vax thing. Yeah. Like, and measles.
Vaccinate your kids, people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, I gave the wrong URL. It's not tiny.url/radio BrendoMan for our Radio BrendoMan.
Is that like
playlist.
last episode, I think?
It's bit.ly/radio BrendoMan.
Well, people on last Tuesday hope that.
All right. Well, you know what, Phil?
What's that?
It's time.
It is time.
Real quick, so I can finally take it off. Derek and I saw Aliens and True Lies at the Arrow as part of Bill Paxton tribute. And watching those movies on the big screen was delightful. And True Lies, Bill Paxton in that movie. But you know who really is great in True Lies?
Who?
Tom Arnold is really funny in that movie. He's really funny.
That in a
True Lies is
time.
great. But Bill Paxton, it is bonkers, and it's just like, this is James Cameron. It like is, I have all the money, so of course we're gonna get a Harrier jet and fly it around Los Angeles.
Yeah,
like it's bonkers, and it's actually Arnold flying around in a real Harrier jet, and like it's insane. And I'm like,
not CGI from back then.
It's complete. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the thing that happened where like, but of course, if in 1995, if James Cameron's like, I want a Harrier jet,
they're like, okay, give him a Harrier jet.
Jet. And and the movies is pretty bonkers, and it's really fun. And Jamie Lee Curtis is great, but Bill Paxton and Tom Arnold are by far the best parts about that movie.
I think the last time I watched that was like before Janelle and I were even married. It's been a long time.
And Aliens is always great, and Bill Paxton also is awesome in that movie. But that movie is just great, especially again practical effects.
Yeah,
like holy crap, like the power loader stuff and the Queen Alien and all that stuff. And you're like, people made this is all like models and full size
aliens. What about the Bob's Burgers?
Oh my gosh,
where they do the aliens play in the story? Like, oh dude. And they have the power loader and everything. It's pretty great. All right.
This is awesome.
Tina.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. And then she body swap. It becomes a body swap
story with the Queen Alien. It's so
little
weird.
baby face hugger. And it's such a weird one. I loved it. Loved it.
Oh yeah, because it's like, what was you? Because they're telling their version.
Yeah,
of
they're
this,
like telling, like playing it up, and then it's like, wow, the budget must be huge.
All right, so we're gonna do Marmaduke.
All right, sounds good.
What do we got this week?
Here we go. Let me try on the right. Yeah. Oh yeah, last one.
He took over their bedroom.
He took over the bed,
and also when he sleeps, he's tiny.
That's right.
It's the tiniest Marmaduke I've ever seen.
It is. He looks. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Next one. All right. Phil's driving a car. Marmaduke's got his head hanging out the window. He is holding the bone in his mouth.
Oh, that's the bone.
He's got the bone.
That's the grandpa.
Oh my gosh.
That's his bone.
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, this is a good one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're driving along. Marmaduke.
So we just want to fill in people. In our universe, Marmaduke is the spirit of Phil's dead father, who he killed.
Right.
And he became a dog, and he's basically controlled the family, trying to become human again. And he digs up his bones,
and he has to give them to people in order to pass his spirit on, and he has got to get them all away.
They're like Horcruxes.
Yeah, exactly. I know what that is now. All right, so they're driving along.
I've been saying that forever, and you finally have caught on.
I know, I get it now because I read it. So Phil is driving the car, and he says, "I wish you would get rid of that bone."
Yeah.
I mean, already we're like deep into our mythology here, and so he hangs out the window further. He's got the bone poking out, and then there's another angle of him with the bone poking out of the window. He's got it like hanging out of his mouth.
Marmaduke is hanging out of a car like a person.
He's got his arm
not
in the
like
window.
A dog would be hanging out of a window.
Like how you
He's like you're hanging out with your car, you're sitting back like a dude.
Out.
Also, Marmaduke is taking up, like he's ginormous.
Yeah, and definitely sitting like a human being in the front seat. And then they come up, and there's a traffic cop directing the traffic, and Marmaduke leans out to him, and then look at this frame. He shoves the bone into the guy's mouth, out like the back of his head. Like I think he murdered this guy. Look at that. He shoves the bone into the.
Oh, this guy's mouth like dead.
With it, this looks like a kill shot. Like
he just killed this dude.
A bone going out the back of his head.
He just killed a police officer with the bone.
With the bone. Not only did he pass it along, but he murdered the guy.
Because he's all wavy and
yeah, and then I mean, look, if that bone got shoved into some, and the car's driving by, like even if he's going 25 miles an hour, he had a bone shoved into the back of his throat at 25 miles an hour.
He killed a cop. Marmaduke's a cop killer.
And then look at this, and then the final punchline is Dot as they get home, and she's calling them in the house, and she says, "You have a call from an Officer Gallagher, and he sounds mad because you murdered a policeman."
Yeah.
And then
Marmaduke's just hanging out
his arms.
His arms, dude. That's some Freddy Krueger stretchy arms.
Yeah, like his arms go
stretch
all the way
to the ground
of the car, and they're like human arms.
What? He's like he
like,
became more.
He's like growing.
He's like,
towards
I live,
dude. I mean, look at
he
that.
absorbed that guy.
He did.
Those are his arms.
He transferred it into his body, and he is sitting like a guy there. This one is nuts, dude. Look at that. He murdered a policeman with a bone in his mouth. He's like, I mean, that's like a special effects out of a 1980s horror movie.
Yeah. That's a Jason kill right
there.
It
is. That's what I'm talking about. Like he murdered him with
instead of a machete, it's a bone.
Yeah. And this buildup, and it shows the car at different angles, and boom. And look at, I mean, you got
and he's like smiling.
Yeah, ha 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 ha. And like, you can tell by the speed of the car. Look, there's dirt flying, and there's like motion things. Yeah. They're not going slow.
He just jammed that bone right in his mouth.
Oh my gosh, dude! Another murder for Marmaduke.
Marmaduke killed the cop, so we know he's killed a lady. I think he's killed at least one of those ice cream men.
Yeah, definitely some of the delivery guys.
The garbage men.
Yeah,
definitely. He's definitely killed a couple garbage men.
And then the lady at the door. Yeah.
Couple neighbors, maybe.
I'm pretty sure neighbors, in there.
Probably
somewhere.
A kid.
My God.
Who knows how many dogs?
Oh.
We know he's got like a dog army.
Oh, yeah.
And dog servants.
And,
and dog rivals. He's also got rival dogs.
But also, it totally feeds into our thing because Phil says, I wish you get rid of the bone. Phil's driving him around to find him another host.
Yeah.
That's what is happening. Marmaduke is telling him, you drive around and I need
going
another
for
host.
A drive, Phil.
And he's like, I wish you would get rid of it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Just get it over with. Here's a cop. And he drove him by it. My gosh. This is a crazy one. Phil took him on a murder drive.
Marmaduke Murder Drive.
Marmaduke Murder Drive.
That's the name of this episode.
That's it. Oh my gosh, dude.
Well, I want to hear what happens with the saga of the Marmaduke brick.
I'll keep you posted. I'm going to give him a couple days, like she said.
I'm sure our investors would also like to know.
Yes. Well, I just want to assure them that we're still working on the situation.
We're on the case.
And I'm not going to say anyone's names because, they're all doing their jobs, but she's on the case. Leslie Knope is on our case. So it's happening. It's all good. We'll get our mini brick. We'll be able to show it.
I just really want the mini brick.
Yeah.
And then one of these days we're gonna go up to Portland, New York.
Go visit it.
We got to record an episode at the Marmaduke brick.
Oh, totally. Bring the portable recorder out there.
Video.
Yeah.
Need everything.
Need to do it.
Definitely.
All right.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this week.
That's a good. I couldn't.
It's Marmaduke Murder Drive.
Marmaduke Murder Drive.
And if you want to chime in with your 2 cents or anything else, hit us up, RadioBrendoMan@gmail.com or radiobrendo.com and use the contact form. Facebook, Twitter @BrendoMan, Instagram @BrendoMan.
All the stuff.
Check out that MBWS episode with us.
Yeah.
And at benvnetwork.com, all the other Benv Network shows. And I think that's going to be it. One last happy Mother's Day, belated.
Absolutely.
To all you moms out there.
Good job.
Good job, moms.
You did it.
I know we have a lot of moms that listen.
We do.
A lot of moms out there.
And if you aren't a mom, but you know a mom, give them a hug.
Give that mom a hug.
Yeah.
What's your mom like?
I'm gonna hug that mom.
Hug that mom. Smells like flowers.
Pretty flowers.
Fresh flowers.
Who brought those flowers in here? All right.
Hey, kid. What does he say? Dad's kids.
I want to meet that dad.
What's your dad like?
What's your dad? Now think about your dad.
Smells like meat in here. Rotten meat.
Oh my gosh. All right.
All right. Well,
Thank you guys for listening.
That's going to do it. So for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang do.
Sweet. Dude, that Marmaduke, like, we couldn't have made it up. It's exactly.
We just need to take this book to Comic-Con and be like, Malky.
This is the one we need to show. You explain this in any other way other than he just murdered that guy. Why is that, like, he shoved a bone? This is not a, like, oh, he's a big dog and he knocked over a food bowl joke. This is, he shoved a bone into a guy's throat. I mean, even if he didn't actually murder him, he assaulted him in a vile way.
And he's smiling
And Phil obviously is in on it. Like, he knows what happened because he's talking to him about the bone. Oh, my gosh. Like, that is just weird. That doesn't even need our mythology to be messed up. Some good stuff.
I don't think people even know I have new glasses. Well, they don't look anything like my old glasses.
No, because the other ones are narrower.
Nobody noticed.
Well, I mean, I think I noticed.
Whatever, it's fine.
I don't know.
I don't want them to notice. The lenses are bigger.
They are. Yeah, the other ones are like narrower.
It's not a good thing.
What?
Because now my eyes look bigger.
Well, isn't it easier to see out of them when they're bigger?
It's so much easier.
Like, that would drive me nuts, I think, having the narrow. Because Janelle's always had those. I don't understand how she does it.
You squint.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, it was after a while you get used to them, but these are way better, and the transitions are great. I freaking love it because it's like I don't have to like squint in the sun, and that way I know that I'm not gonna like because I probably already have done so much damage to my eyes because UV rays are terrible. The sun is murdering us.
Yes, it is.
And like I'm probably already gonna have cataracts and everything because that's how you get cataracts is from the UV rays.
Right.
And other worse things, and eye cancer. Let me tell you, you do not want eye cancer. But that's definitely a thing.
Well, now
I got those tests tomorrow. I'm scared.
Is it after work tomorrow?
Yes. I might have glaucoma, everybody.
Yeah. So you're going to the doctor or the eye place tomorrow?
The eye place lab in Beaumont.
Okay. Do they know you're coming? Oh, that's a different.
They better. If I get there,
I told Janelle about that because she said that she told you we go to the mall one and we were thinking of going up here. Now she's like, well, I guess we're not going to the one up here ever.
Well, I went. It's the one right across the Focus Vision.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
Well, that's the thing. We've always gone to the mall and we're like, we should go to the
Well,
one
they have
in
other
town.
ones. There's the other one that's on VSP. I don't know what eye insurance you guys have.
I don't know.
I have VSP. And the other one that I was looking at, there's a few,
right?
But the other one that I was looking at is the one. It's right by the bank, the credit union by the Vons.
Okay.
There's one down there, and they actually seemed really nice. But this one was just right there, and they seem nice, and they still seem nice. But man, that's a giant screw up.
Oh well, I told Janelle, she's like, oh, that's really
just
bad.
Like, lost a part of my, and then they acted like I was crazy to be because. I know Janelle would have been mad, and if they had then like tried to flip it around on Janelle would have like probably not made it out of there. Like,
oh, no, I know
because they tried to flip it around on me, and I was like, if I was not so terrified that because they had just told me I might have glaucoma,
right?
I think I would have started yelling,
man,
and I would have gotten asked. They tried to ask me to leave, but I managed to kind of like be like, no, like.
Right.
What? What?
Did you have to like call in to go to this too?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't leave. You're not gonna leave.
I'm not leaving.
No.
I took off work.
Like you made that up?
It was insane.
That's really bad.
I don't know. And just the way the lady looked at me, it made me feel like I felt like a monster. I'm like, I understand if I was like being violent or like really, and I'm like, I feel like I need to make a tape of me actually yelling because people think I'm yelling and I'm not yelling, and I get like excitable, but I'm not yelling. I should make a tape. I'm like, this is me yelling, just play it, and then they'd be like, oh, okay, because I'm serious. Like I mean, there are way
Yeah.
most people have never heard me yell.
No. And
even when they think
even
they
when
have.
you're just talking happy,
Yeah.
you're loud.
Yeah. I don't if me yelling, I'll admit it's terrifying.
You're loud. I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand.
And so I think I need to record it because
I'm not sure if that would help your situation. Look at what I yell. This is what you could see if you don't do what I want.
No, just when they say you're yelling, and I could be like, no, I'm not. Here's me yelling. It's my version of calmer than you are.
Calmer than you. Yeah, I don't know if that would get.
I don't know
if that would elicit the response.
I don't know how to cause I'm I'm not yelling. This is not me yelling. I'm upset, and I have a right to be upset because you basically are we have no idea why you're here, and we just took your money, even though we don't even know why you're here. So I'm
yeah, that's the worst. You took a payment from me, and now, well, you shouldn't be here. We don't know what you're doing, and if they did tell you to leave, they're not going to refund that instantly.
Well, I got a credit to this testing, but I'm still ugh. If I get it that testing and they try and say that I owe them another money, again, there's so many possibilities tomorrow that end in me getting kicked out of this place.
It's like a choose your own adventure of rage.
So I'm hoping it goes well, and I hope I don't have anything because it's a little scary.
Yeah.
Because if they can't figure it out from this, then the next step is to get MRIs and stuff, and we're entering expensive land. And
although those are covered to a certain degree.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But you're still dealing with every step of the way. There's co-pays.
Yeah.
And this whole little episode is we're approaching $500 just out of pocket, just for the stupid, all this stuff. Yeah. That one day I've got money, and the next it's just $500 gone. And it's a good thing I have that money just sitting around, because this is how people this is why there's well, I guess I'm just gonna deal with this.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna deal with these old glasses, and every once in a while I lose vision in my right eye because I can't afford any of that. If I hadn't had $300 in my bank account, I would have been guess I'm not getting new glasses.
Yeah. Well,
just gonna have to put that off for who knows how long. But thankfully, I just gotten my state tax return, and it was all just sitting in there. But that still sucked.
Yeah, it does.
Because then I'm well, I guess I'm eating not a lot till payday comes, because there goes all that little buffer.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of the world that most of us live in, that these freaking fat cats are oh, nobody ever dies from not having health insurance. That guy.
Yeah.
And then there was it's just you need to just give up your iPhone. That guy. And I'm please make healthcare the cost of an iPhone.
Right. Yeah. That's
just these total out of touch.
So out of
Plus,
touch.
if somebody went over the Senate healthcare, they get everything for free. They don't have co-pays. Yeah. They don't have anything. They make their doctors make house calls.
Yeah.
They have no idea what we deal with, and then they made themselves exempt from their own freaking things. Although I think they got them to pull that out but they tried to sneak it in.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're still talking about how they're going to try and sneak it back in. There's no way this is going to pass the Senate. I don't know.
You know how long we've been saying there's no way this is going to blah, blah, blah.
No.
Okay, speaking of which, and then we should probably wrap it up, but are you up to date on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
I'm one episode behind. I know that I'm right before they haven't gotten out of the thing. Well,
okay.
They just all came out at the end, but I know there's a little bit of stuff. But
I think they pulled it off.
It's been pretty good, and I'll tell you, one of the things that has made it more enjoyable for me is I'm sure you've caught on to this, but all of their
it's
this
Trump
is
land.
Alternative facts.
Oh yeah, it's
and
Trump
once
world.
They started doing that, I'm oh, okay, I'm down for this thing.
Yeah,
I get it.
Also,
fake history.
I really like Ward being back. I like
and Tripp too.
And
Ward and Tripp.
And having them back. I'm okay, this is working for me.
It is, and
also
it was a short
Evil
enough.
Fitz is pretty
he's a good
awesome,
actor.
And his dad and that whole thing is really good. Everything about it ended up working out,
and because it was a short enough arc, it didn't overstay its welcome.
And the stakes were high, and a big thing happened.
Yeah.
I don't want to know spoilers.
Right, but they pulled it off.
Speaking of that, R.I.P. Powers Booth.
Yeah. From
I was wondering if he was going to make an
Hydra.
appearance in the framework, and now we know that that's not going to happen. sadly.
But anyway, I'll just alternative facts type stuff that they
And
kept
you know
saying.
that's 100%.
Oh, it wasn't even like thinly veiled.
Yeah.
It was
the way
just
they
pretty
were
great.
like, yeah, it's like
It was pretty great.
Pretty much Madam Hydra.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of awesome.
Uh,
So I give them full credit for that, and that made it work for me. All right.
Well,
Stroke of midnight.
We're done.
Thank
It's
you
midnight.
guys.
Good night.
For watching YouTube.
See you, everybody.